those audio changes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Stalwart Initiative. We are back. It's Saturday, and it's Shade and Cinder time, and we're back. And I'm very excited because we're still on a death train full of, well, not quite full anymore, but has a bunch of zombies, and we had an undead creating death thing on there, and Cyrus is on the roof. And
It's
we
still
might.
full of them. They're just all dead now.
Yeah, true. Pieces. We have zombie pieces. We could, whatever. We can play Legos later with them. But let's hopefully just stop this train before we bring it into town and make more zombie pieces out of bombs and stuff. But yes, we are back with Shade and Cinder, and let's see here. Let's do some channel stuff. Let's see if I can remember. Yeah, you're right, Kay. Thanks for mentioning the post-its. Those would be great right now. Some year it'll happen. Organization will flow. So another big thank you to a few people donated made some donations on Wednesday's game, and also gifted a bunch of subs. So thank you to the donors for that, because it not only helped pay for the players to get more resource books. To help them make characters and have better options, but it also let us unlock 2 more emotes. And I'm gonna have the one of our community artists, the wonderful Jenna. I'm gonna have her redo my emotes because the person I paid off on a obscure website to do it didn't care and doesn't want to fix them. So we're gonna keep it in the community from here on out, and try to pay all our community artists to do all the stuff for the channel. And speaking of community artists, I just want to note that I have this awesome new Displacer Beast shirt. Loving it from the wonderful Jillian of Midgard off her Etsy shop. So yeah, if you want some pretty sweet swag and art stuffs, check out Jillian's shop. And I probably actually have a link. I will try to find that whenever everybody else is talking. I think I have a command for you, Jillian. But
Oh,
do I have one? Yes, I have a command.
hey,
I have a command for all of you. I'm
Jillian of
pretty sure.
Midgard on Etsy.
There we go.
Just type it in.
There you go. So yes, and along with that, what else? Oh yeah, big announcement that we haven't announced on the channel, but is up in the Discord community, is that we will be branching out in the future. After these campaigns are done, and future one-shots, we're going to be trying out other systems on the channel and in the community. So I've had several people ask, if we'd be up for doing other stuff, and I definitely am. I just am not proficient myself to run other systems other than D&D, so I will rely on those volunteers who would like to run those games, and teach me, and everyone how to play them, or at least help as we learn. Thank you, Mother Nature. Also, there's a Slender Storm, so if we go offline, magically, randomly, storm, we'll be back, hopefully. What else? I think that's it for community stuff. Check out YouTube if you get time. With the virus thing and my kids being home all the time, I haven't really had time to make videos on it, but I will. In the next few days, I'll have a video, another video up, and on our new YouTube channel, Stalwart Archive. All of this season's let's plays. No, is that what they call these? Whatever. All these episodes of these shows that we're doing are all on there, especially Shade and Cinder. All first 3 episodes are on the Stalwart Archive on YouTube right now, so search that up and you can catch up, and we will have the entire campaign archived. And yes, that's it. Okay, let's go around and meet our awesome players. So Jillian, introduce yourself, and Mourning for today's game.
Hi, I'm Jillian of Midgard, Jill of Midgard on Twitter. I'm playing Morag. She is a half orc, half elf-ish warlock whose patron is a coven of very powerful hags. And she really wants to be a hag herself, but may not happen for her. We'll see. Now she's on a trade. There's train things happening. So, and undead, and she summons a hunky new boyfriend who is just disappointing as all heck. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah. Oh man, the we're all, whoa, look at this, oh, hunky new demon dude, cool. And yeah, this wasn't working out so well. But zombies, he can hit zombies, so that's the thing. He can be the zombie shredder. Speaking of zombie shredders, Nate, introduce yourself and Cyrus for this week's game. You are in full on. I have to battle everything on top of a train mode. So go ahead and introduce yourself and Cyrus.
Yeah, Cyrus has always wanted to fight on a train. I'm Nate Holmberg, husband of Jillian over there. I help her at her Comic-Con booths. I'm basically a booth babe. Sometimes I do art when she's in the bathroom and isn't there to slap the Copic markers out of my hands. I'm playing Cyrus Alderman. He's a knight of Karnath. He's a paladin. He follows the blood of Vol. He very much hates these Emerald Claw guys we're fighting, so he's all about chasing them down and bringing them to justice for all the havoc they've been wreaking on the train system lately. And he's on top of a train currently, and we're going to see what happens to him.
Yes, I hope we don't have to go pick him back up.
In several different locations, probably.
Yeah. More undead. Great. Okay. What was it? PH. Okay, so Paladin Hulk just used his channel points to give Cyrus an advantage for later. And next up, we'll see Kay. Kay, introduce yourself and Ramiel for today's adventure.
Hi everyone, my name's Kay. I'm at ironic_cupcake on Twitter. Nate, I'm still waiting for my picture of Rami and Cyrus. I don't know what's taking so long, but
I have to learn how to art first. That's going to take a while.
So unprofessional.
It really is. There's a grace period, but it's too long now. I'm super excited for today, and I'm really anxious because Rami was the only one to get hurt last week, and I just opened up her character sheet and I realized, yeah, she is pretty low on health somehow still. So that's gonna be fun, and this is kind of a hectic train ride. Other than just undead people, we've got big demons being summoned, and there's also little fire bastards running around still. I imagine they make a lot of really loud screeching noises, so it's gonna be fun as we climb on top of the train onto the airship. I don't know what's going on yet.
I'm gonna be petrified of that. Yes, so speaking of little fire bastards, I think they actually changed the name of the monster manual from Methods to Little Fire Bastards. Just want
that was the technical term. I'm just trying to stay.
Yeah, I'm glad Wizards listened to your recommendation, and I like that. I really like that terminology. I'm Kyle. Today I'm going to be playing Midge, a gnome artificer, or alchemist artificer, who's really insecure about a lot of things. Mainly his job and his place in the world, and he's just been all distraught and doesn't know what to do with himself since he lost his best friend and mentor. And just he's kind of trying to find his place and his worth, and struggles with thinking he's going to be replaced by hopefully zombie researcher in the back of the train. But he's not going to cross he's not going to cross his fingers and hope that it happened. But if it did, tears will be shed in private. So yeah, that's me. And Derek, this is all you, buddy. Take it away.
My train. Hi, everybody. I am Derek Sword. I'm DSword16 on Twitter and Discord. Every other Tuesday, I am on Uncanny Adventures, and every Saturday, I am here. I'm also the co-host of the podcast Monster Crush, but we'll talk more about that at the end of the episode, because absolutely a lot of stuff happened last episode. So let's do a brief recap just so we can kind of figure out what's going on, especially if you're new to the show. Welcome. But also to figure out and help my players remember where they were when we ended last session. So, brief recap of everything. Our dauntless adventurers were contracted by Merrix de Cannith, a lord of House Cannith, which is one of the dragon-marked houses of extreme power. They were contracted for a perilous mission. They're tasked with venturing into the Mournland, formerly known as the Kingdom of Sire, which was destroyed in a cataclysmic event of unknown origin about 5 years ago. It's now a wasteland of untold dangers, and they are tasked with finding something, some item or idea that could save his powerful house from inevitable ruin. Should they succeed, there is a great reward. Should they fail, a fate worse than death. The adventurers were joined by Pondus Veros, a scholar from Morgrave University, and Whistler, a warforged sworn to serve. In last episode, or should I say previously, on Shade and Cinder, when we last left our tenacious team, the otherwise peaceful train ride was rudely interrupted by a group known as the Order of the Emerald Claw, an extremist group that uses necromancy and fear to exert their power. Claw took control of the train and used a Mabaran resonator device of immense dark power to raise their slain victims as zombies. The party was able to slay most of their foes and finally destroy the resonator, ending the zombie horde. Still, their trouble is far from over. Train is still controlled by a Claw agent, as Morag, Ramiel, Midge, and Lucina Orion, another passenger on the train, who actually has a dragon mark, now bear down on the Claw agent controlling. They've broken into the helm. At the same time, Cyrus and a demonic orc controlled by Morag, known as a Tanaruk, stand on top of the train with a separate problem. A sizable airship, probably belonging, you would reason, to the Emerald Claw, has harpooned itself and docked atop one of the train cars. And Cyrus is also fairly sure that there are probably more undead aboard. The train is speeding towards the city of Star Alaska on a collision course. And oh yeah, it's also loaded to explode with alchemist fire upon collision. Let's begin. And I know that was a lot, so let me know if you have questions along as we go along here. Let's see, so Rami, you do still have your methods. Morag, you still have the Tanaruk. Yeah, and we can go with whoever wants to start first.
This is a very, you're probably wondering how I got here, record scratch kind of moment.
Yeah, it very much is.
I'm on top of a train barreling at a station set to
It all
explode,
started
fighting
the day
undead.
I was born.
Yeah.
I think we need to get this train under control, so I think we need to kill this loser and get this young chick in the pilot seat ASAP.
I thought we pulled that person out and we were trying to get her to go in.
Yeah,
you hadn't pulled him out just yet. Morag has intimidated him, but he is still sitting in the seat. Otherwise, you're not sure what would happen. Especially Midge, who would probably know that these trains are controlled by bound elementals, and that to not have anybody binding them at a time, they can either go loose or take complete control of the train with a vengeful course. So to that point, you do notice that there are two seats. One is occupied by the Emerald Claw. The other one is probably for the co-pilot. But both of them do have stations that a dragon-marked person, especially from House Orion, could attempt to take control of the train.
Okay. Yeah, just... you need to get her out so we can get this chick in here who doesn't want to go in. I'll calm her, or I'll get her to come in. And you get that thing to scare out instead of in?
I grab, what is her name again?
Lucina Orion.
By the shoulders, and I look in her eyes and I say, the grace of Sora Katra will help you in this endeavor. And I give her guidance, so for a minute she can have advantage on any checks that she needs, or is it 1d4, I believe?
Yes.
On ability checks.
Okay.
And I kind of push her towards the co-pilot seat, and then should we just put two to the head of this guy?
You certainly can. Yeah, you actually guidance, especially for NPCs, when she's not necessarily rolling anything, it still does kind of put this aura of confidence over a person. And she absolutely, all of a sudden, her nerves seem to just fade away. She stretches her shoulders back and she goes, okay, I think I can do this. And she sits down and grabs a hold of the steering device, and you can actually see that the dragon mark that she has begins to light up. It was on her neck, and she goes, I think I've got it. It's very natural, actually.
And then I say, "Don't look over here," and I shoot two. I shoot two Eldritch blasts in the back of this other guy's head.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not even going to make you roll for that. You're doing Eldritch Blast at point blank range. Yeah, he slumps over, and for a second, there's almost a little bit of a jolt to the train. But you look at Lucina. She goes, I've got control. What am I supposed to do?
You drive. I'm like pushing the dead body off of out of her view. You drive. We'll figure out what else needs to be done.
All right. And you notice that the train actually begins to slow a little bit at this point, since it had been barreling towards Star Alaska. It actually takes it goes back to its normal rate of speed that your nice train ride, that kind of speed.
We all know about the ether shit down there. We all know about that, the explosive stuff.
Whistler did point out to you, that there was alchemist fire, several barrels of it in the cargo hold.
Okay, I'd be trying to once more double taps the dude. I'll try to hop in there real quick and like kind of get in the way and like, can you drag him out? Okay, and then like pat on the lady's shoulders. Just stop this thing. We gotta stop it.
Gently.
Yeah.
And she kind of nods to you, and you feel the train beginning to slow even more. She's like, it's going to take a while. I'm not necessarily used to this, and I have sort of a feeling that these things don't stop on a dime, but you do hear sort of a grinding sound between the elemental the plates. It's almost like an electrical kind of grinding.
Sure. Okay.
As the train begins to slow.
I'll just stand there with her and watch her every move and try to take it all in and
do we have
help
to?
when I can.
Is this alchemist fire? I don't know much about it, Midge. Do you understand anything about it? Do we need to deactivate it, or is it going to explode if it on impact?
We need to not touch it at all.
Okay.
And keep. Is Rami with us? Is she in? Is you right there with us? To say if Rami's right there with us, and please tell your little friends to stay way far away from it.
Oh.
If their fire touches it, we're fucked.
She'll just kind of like kneel down and like make like a come here, guys. Just like, trying to get them to stop buzzing around.
Yeah, that's all I know. It's just really dangerous. Super cool, but not when we're stuck in here with it.
Well, if she is doing okay, maybe we should shut the door and go and check on Cyrus.
Oh yeah,
And
where'd he
Whistler?
go? Where'd he
And
go?
Cyrus is gone.
Pondus.
Oh yeah, he's probably back with Pondus.
Laughing it up, having a good time.
Yeah, they're back there like
Being best friends.
having a Chardonnay.
As you say that, Pondus actually shows up at the door, and he's not alone. There's actually several of the other non-zombified passengers. You see the other Jillian, the gnome Jillian, the reporter. She's there, as well as a couple of the other passengers you noted before. You see the elder orc is there, and yeah, Pondus is staring there, and then kind of in the back is the very curmudgeonly Ivan. Dio Ryan going, what the fuck's happening?
It's his train, shouldn't he know?
Yeah.
We're the ones who should be saying that to him.
It is his train, and yeah, you can definitely tell that he is very displeased. This is probably the worst train ride he's ever had. Yeah, so we'll kind of leave that there and then pick up with Cyrus and the Tanaruk. So Cyrus, you are on top of a train car. The wind is kind of rushing by, but it's not necessarily pressing against you, because in front of you, towards the front of the train, is a moderate-sized airship, which has docked itself. And you can't really see any movement, but you can reason that in last session, you used your paladin divine sense, and you did notice some undead kind of above the train.
So they're docked with like grappling hooks, right?
Yeah, yeah. Several grappling hooks have pierced the roof of the train that it's sitting on, almost as an anchor.
And so, what's the distance between the grappling hooks and the airship?
Just mere feet, probably 5 feet.
Okay, so they're like tight against the train then, not like being
It's
strung
more
along like
like-
a kite.
Yeah, yeah. It's more like the weight of the airship alone is kind of holding it in place. These things are just, if there's any shifting movement or anything, yeah, these things have enough of a give that they're not going to let the airship go very far.
So probably wouldn't be able to cut it loose. Like the grappling hooks are like too tight between the train and the airship, so I wouldn't be able to like.
I mean,
loosen them.
it's just rope. If you want to take a slice at it with your sword, you could probably cut it pretty easily.
I told the Tanaruk to back you up, so if you tell him a command, he'll do it.
Will he though?
I told him to do what you say.
Do I speak any of the same languages as him?
He speaks common,
Oh, okay.
orc, and abyssal. If you want to try those two.
Turn to him and say, Tanaruk, smash. Yeah, I guess if the airship is accessible, I probably want to get on it and see what's going on, and I'll
Yeah.
tell the Tanaruk to follow me.
Yeah, there is a ladder. A lot of airships are structured very much like boats, and this one, and a lot of you think of like a smaller like cruise pleasure vessel would have a ladder leading up from the back, and this one has something very similar, a metal ladder. And for all intents and purposes, this looks very much like a House Lyrindar airship, but it's got a lot of wear and tear, and it's got these weird kind of like extra metal pieces that are attached to it, almost like spiky pieces. It's almost if you've ever seen Firefly, it's very much like what Reavers would do if they got a hold of the ship, just make it look really nasty and scary. And then there's a big painted green claw on all the sides. So yeah, but absolutely you can climb the ladder and get aboard.
Okay, I will do that.
Tanaruk comes lumbering after you.
Yeah, he waits as you climb up the ladder because
he's so polite and well mannered.
he's already basically at the height of it anyway. So yeah, he's just like, I'll get there. Yeah, you get aboard. To your right, you see a closed helm, an enclosed area with a door on the back that is bolted metal. And in front of you, you see a shambling undead that is actually wearing decent and recognizably Karnathi armor.
Oh. Well, the Emerald Claw originates from Karnath, right? So that
It absolutely does.
a surprise.
Yeah.
Is he like a knight? Would I recognize what kind of undead or armor?
So technically they're called Karnathi undead in the book. Some appear just as more like what you would consider a zombie, a lot of flesh and everything, but they also maintain their level of undead throughout decomposition. So this one is pretty skeletal. But yeah, it's the idea that Karnath was recycling soldiers, and as soon as they fell, they'd bring them right back up and keep using them until they fell apart again. So this one's probably been around for a little while, but still holding the armor, still as you would know, actually fighting alongside these things, they're not as weak as your normal zombie or skeleton. They have a decent amount of fighting power to them.
All right. I guess it's the moment now to see if my channel divinity will work on it. So I'll throw that in chat so you can read it. Basically, as an action, it has to make a Wisdom save DC 14. If it fails, then it belongeth to me.
All right. Let this thing make a wisdom check. Wisdom save. Okay. All right. That was an 11. So this is your undead. This is your Karnathi soldier now.
Now I can have a Pokemon fight with Jillian's camera
That's right.
and the fire methods too. We'll find out who the real Pokemon champion is. Cool.
Well, Midge also has his Ahab. Yeah.
Throw Ahab out there.
No!
Ew.
He's super
baby! No!
Okay, so I've got a Tanaruk and an undead soldier and a closed door to the helm. That's probably where I want to go next.
Okay. So yeah, you go to the door. It like a lot of this ship is kind of this. You'd probably reason that a lot of the ships are mostly made from wood, actually a certain kind of wood that allows them to fly better. But this door's been replaced with a bulky metal kind of almost like submarine hatch kind of door. You try the handle and it appears to be locked. You can certainly try to break in or check the other sides.
Um, yeah, let's see how hard it is to break in first.
Sure. You can roll attack against it, or you can do an athletics check, or you can even have maybe the Tanaruk could help you as well. He's kind of looking to you. So he does have the psychic link with Morag, but he recognizes you as an ally too, that he's physically closest to.
He's probably stronger than me, right? Like I would imagine his athletics is higher.
He's got 18, so +4 to his strength.
Oh, so he's probably about the same as me then. Okay, well I'll have him help me to give me advantage, right? And then I'll try
Sure.
athletics in the door.
Yeah, we can do it two ways. You can either do it with advantage, or you can do it where he also does a strength roll or an athletics roll, and then we take the average.
Um.
I will say
Oh.
with advantage, since you already rolled, that's
Okay.
good enough. So yeah, but in the future, we can always do that.
Yeah.
If you ever have somebody helping you, there's the two options. So yeah, you put your shoulder into it, and so does the Tanaruk, and you kind of lean in against the hinges, and the door comes kind of crashing open. You can kind of reason that even though it is a metal door, the lock itself was into the wooden wall, and that's essentially what gave away. And before you is a wide array of windows that kind of look out to the ship. This is most certainly the helm, and standing at the helm is another Emerald Claw soldier.
I tell him stop. Don't do whatever you're doing.
And yeah, he looks back to you and he turns around and draws his weapon.
Wants to do it the hard way, huh? I was
He
kind of hoping
does.
he would. Alright. Get him, demon and undead, and also me.
Okay, so you have your undead with you as well?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and just roll initiative real quick. Then I will roll for the undead here.
Is there something I could click on the Tanaruk sheet that will roll initiative for him, or
It
do
should
I just...
have something here. Let me see.
What's his
Like,
Yeah,
does
in the
his-
very center at the top, there's a little thing that says INIT. It's very small with a
Oh,
die above it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, he's really excited to get in there.
All right. So
Wow, I thought I would go last, but apparently that is not the case.
that is not the case. No, this poor motherfucker's going down. Okay, so the and okay, Terry the Tanaruk and the undead.
Looks like a Terry, I can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom calls me Terrence. All right, so first up is the Tanaruk.
Alright, well, he kind of takes his cue from Cyrus that he's allowed to attack this guy. So he'll run up and take a bite attack on him first.
Oh yeah. He's gonna roll well this time.
Eh,
Law of averages, evening out.
Okay, so then if I click on the attack, it should roll the damage?
Mhm.
Okay, good. There we go. Cool sheets, cool technology.
Yeah.
And then great sword attack. Rawr.
Yeah, look at him go.
He was warming up like you
Nat
do in
20.
Nicole.
Instead of warm that shoulder up.
Click that baby.
He disappointed his mom too much last time.
You got phone calls.
All right, so 29 points of damage. All right, awesome. And next up is the Emerald Claw Undead, which is in control right now.
Do you want me to control it? I've got the stat block up.
Yeah, if you have the Carnathi Undead, absolutely. Go for
I
it.
don't know if it's in roll 20, but I got it in.
I have it. I have it pulled up here too. I could see if I can actually transfer this over to you and give you control.
My minion's better than your minion.
All right. Can you see it next to your character sheet?
No.
Okay, it's all good. Yeah, if you wanna,
Jillian, Jillian would add 3 to all of those attack damages too, by the way, since he's a fiend and he's within my aura.
Okay, yeah, still hit regardless, but good to know.
Not to the attack, to the damage.
Oh, 3 to the attack, or sorry, for 3 to the damage, so an extra 6 points of damage.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So I guess my new undead friends. By the way, I'm looking at his staff block. These guys are awesome.
Yeah, so it can parry. It's got multi-attack. It's got a longbow and a longsword.
Plate.
Yeah. Pack tactics. So it will have advantage on its rolls.
Tactics.
Damn, these things are awesome. Okay.
And undead fortitude.
But Cyrus knew that already, because.
Mine has spell resistance though.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, it's not
Both
complicated.
your pets are cool, okay?
Until we have our little Pokemon fight. It's
Not getting a dog.
Okay, yeah. So I'll have him make 3 longsword attacks. Jesus, this guy's like better than I am at fighting.
Okay. You doing 3 two-handed?
Yeah. I don't think he has a shield, right? Doesn't
No.
look like it.
No, can do 1 or 2, but yeah, no shield.
Okay, so yeah, 2-handed.
Cool. Do you want to like roll yourself, or do you want me to roll?
I can roll.
for it.
So we're doing 3 with advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there's an easy way to do that, like this, maybe. No, I don't want that. So I guess take the 18 plus. His plus is 5, so 23 to hit on the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And then second attack would be a 19 plus 5, 24 to hit. And then the
It's a +3 for that.
a +3 to hit.
Yeah, because they don't have proficiency bonuses.
Oh, the stat block says 5, but if you want to do 3.
Since what I have for him is strength of 16, so it has a +3.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking at the longsword attack.
Okay.
And then the other third attack. Nope, I did not want that. Like that. So 8 plus 3 is 11. He probably missed on that one.
Yeah, so 2 of those hit, and yeah, you can do the
1d8
1d8 plus 3.
He's doing 2-handed, right?
Sorry, yeah, 1d10 plus 3. Sorry.
Oops. And then you said it, and then I clicked it.
Yeah.
So 14 on that, because he gets +3 for my aura.
Mhm.
And then the other one is 16.
Okay,
So 30 damage.
30 damage. You have eliminated this this Emerald Claw veteran.
Man.
Uh-oh.
Would you like your Scully boy to do?
He did a good job. I guess receive a head pat.
Was this the guy that was driving the ship?
He was just like in here. It's like attached to the terrain. I don't think anyone's driving anything.
Yeah, as of
Okay,
right
good.
now, the ship isn't moving. It is docked, but you could probably reason that he was the pilot.
Does he have a mark of? Would it be Lyrandar for this?
Yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Let's see.
Strip him.
You're right. It actually was +5 to hit for longsword. So I wonder. It's probably because I didn't add. I'm gonna actually give you advantage on that because you're around. He's been sliced up. It's fine.
Okay.
So you go to do kind of check him, looking for dragon marks. You find on his arm is it looks like a wound. It's a piece of flesh, different color from the rest of him, different tone. It has a dragon mark of House Lyrandar on it, but it's been strangely fused to his own arm.
That's Ah,
That's not good.
creepy.
I was wondering, like, because most of these Emerald Claw guys are like Karnathi people, so it'd be weird for them to have all these like dragon marked house peeps in their ranks. But I guess they're like cheating. Okay, cool. Well,
Take
I'm
it.
gonna search the rest of the ship and make
we
sure
could
that
sew
it's
it on somebody later.
you.
And actually, that's
Who's
something
the
that
dragon
that
bard?
Morag notices as she's dragging off the body
Yeah,
of the
that
guy who was in the
too,
sea.
right?
Was another. It was actually on his chest. And Remy would actually remember that the undead form of your steward had a large patch of flesh missing from his chest.
Gross.
Yep. All
Yum.
right.
I'm scared now.
Yeah, you should
Yeah,
be.
you're gonna
Get my face
skinned.
ripped off.
Yeah, you
You
should
got a
have.
big hickey.
You shouldn't have put it on your face. You could have had it
Yeah.
anywhere, and you chose to put it there.
So we're going to maintain combat order because just when you look up from this discovery, you notice that two forms are now standing in front of the window array. You see two more of these Karnathi undead, and they are staring right at you, standing over the body of their leader, essentially the pilot. And then they look to the other Karnathi undead, and they kind of go. And I'm assuming it doesn't do anything because it's under your thrall. And they come running around and come back to the door. So there are now two more Karnathi undead who are engaging with you, the Tanaruk, and your Karnathi undead.
I'm all out of channel divinity, but maybe I can just charm these guys over to my side.
Yeah.
Maybe you can. It
Work
is
for
your
me.
turn.
I pay more. Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen. So I guess I'll attack.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would know that about this situation, right? Being someone who's fought with these and commanded them in battle, like I probably can't talk to them at all. They're undead. They have no ability to reason.
They are undead, but I mean the Karnathi necromantic process. I mean, it doesn't make them mindless soldiers. There are still zombies and skeletons all throughout Karnath. You would know that they still would have their own reasoning abilities, and should their body allow them, they still would be able to form sounds and maybe even speak depending on their freshness. One of them looks like he might still have most of his chest cavity intact.
I'm wondering if I really could roll some sort of charisma check here to try and get them to like obey me since their master's dead, and like use my authority that way.
So I would say that these are terrorists, and I mean, changing somebody's mind about an entire ideology and how they operate their lives and being members of this order of extremists probably wouldn't be doable. I mean, that would be like a charisma check of like 40.
These undead are serving of their own volition, then, right? Like
they literally live their entire lives plus some in service to this extremist organization.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then I will attack.
Okay.
So we'll use the Radiant Longsword.
That hits.
And that one hits. I'll roll damage one at a time here. 16 slashing on the first one.
Okay.
Second attack. Ooh, that might not hit.
That does not.
Okay, so that's a miss. Let's see if I've got anything I can do as a bonus action. I don't think I do. Oh, I still have protection from good and evil going. I was concentrating on that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so they'll have disadvantage to try and hit me.
Awesome.
I think that'll be my turn.
Great. All right. Then it is going to be their turn. They are going to, I guess since you rushed up first and the other two are behind, they are going to take attacks towards you. They're going to take 3 longsword attacks each, and they will have advantage on their attack rolls.
This is my disadvantage, so they'll be flat.
That's right. Okay. All right. So let's do 3 of these here.
Oh lordy.
All right.
Here comes. Hold.
Wow, I
All right.
dodged all of those.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say your AC's 20, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sword attacks just come, sweeping in,
Raining
and
down on my shield.
well, your shield. But even then, I mean, you're like, Robin Hood just, kind of clashing with the sword, knocking all the blows away, catching the one of them's catching the shield the entire time. The other one, you're able to parry every single one of the blows, and yeah, not a single one lands.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now we're back to the Tanaruk.
My friend, I will save you.
Are you role playing as the Tanaruk too?
Yep.
My
That's what he
friend.
Sai.
Both of these aren't dead or comparable. So he'll just go for the one that's closest to him, probably.
Sure.
So he bites attacks that one.
All right, that hits.
All right. Yeah. And then he'll do a great sword attack to follow up. Ooh.
And that does not hit.
Ah.
So
Sorry.
plus 3 for my aura on that.
Oh.
Yeah,
15.
it still does not. And they have
No,
they have parry.
not to the hit, to the damage.
Oh, to the.
Yes.
You're right,
that's
to the damage. That's right.
We'll get there.
And to be fair, the undead that are attacking us also get plus 3 damage.
Oh
We're-
no.
It's
Oh,
everybody,
alright.
every fiend and undead around me gets
All
it.
right.
That's not good.
All right. Is that it for the Tanaruk?
Yeah.
Okay. Cyrus, it is now your Carnathi Undead's turn.
Yeah, get him.
So it will have advantage on its attacks, and
3 longsword attacks,
yeah.
two-handed.
Yeah.
So with advantage. Oh, he crit 1, so that's awesome.
Mhm.
Second attack. So
Okay,
it's
that would
plus
hit.
5. Yeah, so that it's 22. And then the third attack. So that's 20 total. Is 20 total hit?
Yeah, no, yes, actually. I
Okay.
was gonna say they do have parry, but even then, it would only be 20. So yeah, each of those hits.
Yeah, I gotta remember to do that. Is that a reaction on him?
It is.
Okay, cool. Okay, so for the crit, that's 2d10. Plus 3 is 13, plus my 3, so 16 on that one.
Okay.
Second attack, 7 plus 6 is 13. And then the third one, another 13. Man, he's fucking shit up.
All right, so 42. Yeah. Did you want to do the one that was already damaged? In which case you finished that one off, or did you want to do a lot of damage?
He'd probably do the one I was hitting.
Okay. Then yeah, you have finished off one of these things that the kind of the who me? No, not the cloned whole thing. They look pretty identical, armor and everything, and it goes slashing in with its sword, and the one you aren't controlling kind of just gets hit with a certain point in the bone structure and just goes clattering down. The structure can't hold up the armor anymore, and it kind of just powders and
Gonna have
disappears.
to get this soldier a promotion after this. He's doing well.
Yeah, promotion in the terrorist group. Yeah.
Mhm.
It is now Cyrus. It is back to your turn.
Okay, so there's one left, right?
There's one left and hasn't been hit by anybody yet.
Whilst this is happening, are we all making as train team alpha making our way somewhere?
Yeah. So you kind of have all the passengers who have gathered up and are kind of going like, what's going on? We were locked in our rooms, and Jillian's there with her notebook and she's trying to jot everything down. Pondus is looking a little sheepish, and Whistler's trying in his best. I don't know how to talk to people. Voice trying to explain to them what happened, but he's like, oh no, there were zombies, but those are all gone now. They're just bodies, and there's alchemist fire, but you don't have to worry because one of the passengers is controlling the train. She's never done it before, but I'm sure she's fine.
God, Whistler's my favorite.
I like how he's just very honest all the time.
Yeah,
He's so good.
he was told never to lie, and he never will.
Yeah, I critted my first attack, so
You did.
that's gonna go real bad for this guy. I've got one second level spell slot left. I'm gonna use it on a smite. Let me make sure I've got the right amount of d8s for that. So he is undead.
Mhm.
So it'll be 3d8 plus another, so 4d8 doubled, 8d8 plus my normal d8, so 9, 10. Okay, 10d8. I guess we'll just do this in 2 5s. I rolled really bad on that one, and then really good on that one. So,
All right, so
38 plus my 10, 48 damage on that hit.
Ooh.
all right. Yeah, I'm gonna say he only had 4 hit points left, and the rest of it is just it's destroyed by just it's the same kind of energy that Vicious Mockery invokes. It's a complete loss of hope and concentration, and any kind of confidence that he had was just gone as once again this just mass just crumbles to the ground and powders. Yeah, and as far as you know, you now are master of this airship.
Alright,
And
see you guys later. I'm going to take my friend Terry and this undead on my own adventure.
You have a whole crew, yeah.
Yeah.
And we jump back below now to Morag and Remy and Midge. So yeah, Whistler is trying his best to calm down everybody while standing over the several bodies and the alchemist fire in barrels. And everybody's looking very nervous as he kind of just like moves his arms about, like, you know, as if he's going to knock one over. What would y'all like to do?
I'm keeping a close eye on this chick working on the working or driving, trying to slow down, making sure that she's focusing and it's getting done. I guess I'll tell Morgan and Rami as they leave the cockpit. I'll catch up with you just a minute. Just need to make sure that nobody busts through the window and kills her, and we have to start all over. Just wanna, P's and Q's.
Should we send her uncle in to help, or do you
Fuck
think
that
he would
guy.
be a hindrance?
Sorry.
I agree.
I'm
Should
so
we send
sorry.
him back to his cabin then, and let her work, and I'll tell him to go back to his room.
So he's kind of shoving through the crowd. He's got his unicorn-headed cane. He's kind of poking people with it to make them move, and he goes, "I want to know what the fuck's going on."
For your safety, I recommend that you go back to your cabin. I think things are under control now.
Where's Lucina? I need her.
She is assisting the driving of the train.
Well, that's bullshit. What?
We were attacked by bad people, so they killed the pilot, so she has to pilot it now.
He looks at you and goes, "Quiet, honey, the men are talking." And he looks back to Morag and goes, "What?"
Oh, shit.
Aww.
Everything is under control. Go back to your room, sir.
Yeah, Morag about to get real intimidating here in a second.
Yeah, go ahead and you can roll a persuasion or intimidation, because I think both come off very similarly from Morag.
Intimidation.
Yeah, he is not swayed. He goes, "This is my damn train," and he's not hitting you with the unicorn horn, but it's getting close. He's like, "It's my damn train, and I'm gonna go check on the helm if I want to." And he brushes past you, and very slowly, it's sad of how he's trying to rush towards the helm, but he is making his way there now. And yeah, Midge, you see him. He goes, "Hey, little fella, help an old man up the stairs, yeah."
I'm gonna go back into the cockpit and shut the door and tell Ahab to stay outside with his little cannon armed and ready.
And you kind of hear from the outside, "Ah, damn it, stairs, my only weakness."
Yes, and don't let him in. Don't hurt him, but like scare him and fly around and do stuff. We don't fly around, stay in the doorway, but just threaten to shoot him because he can't be allowed in here. He's a distraction.
And by this time, the train has nearly come to a stop. It's moving just a little bit at this point, but yeah, it's we'll say at this point it's come to a rest. It's still hovering. It's not rested on the tracks, because there is that energy difference between the track and the train itself. But it's kind of got this soft hover going now. And Lucina looks to you and she goes, "Oh, okay." She's shaking just a little bit. She goes, I think I did it. I'm going to lock the elementals in. I really wish I was trained for this." And
You're doing great.
she focuses, and the train kind of comes to a soft rest. It slowly lowers and connects to the track, and you hear a soft thunk as it hits. And she lets go, and she goes, "I think we're good."
You did really good. This is your first time ever?
Yeah. Well, you might have noticed, and she points to her ears. I'm not a full Orion. I don't get the whole D apostrophe in front of my name. So, yeah, they don't train me for stuff. I got shifted off to the old man, and that was gonna be the best I ever did in life. So, yay.
Look, I think you did wonderful, despite what this fella out here is gonna say. I think you did great. So let's go out, and it stopped. Do we have like a club? Does anybody remember the club? Do we have a club we can just kind of put in here so nobody can steal it?
Club.
That's still a thing.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure our younger watchers will know what that is, Kyle.
So I know it's so fucking old. So yeah, we'll just try to put it in somewhere where nobody, in a configuration where nobody can use it. I guess whatever means we can do that, and then we'll go outside and see Pappy down there at the bottom of the stairs. I guess.
Yeah, you could recognize that the elementals that power this train, that move it, have been locked away. They've been sealed, which is the correct thing to do for a person who is operating one of these elementally powered ships. So yeah, as far as you can tell, Mitch, she's done a pretty darn good job. And yeah, Ivan's there at the bottom of the steps going, "Lucina, there you are. I was wondering. They told me some well, bullshit about you running this train, and I knew they were lying. That fella back there, there's something not right about him. He's got these weird teeth."
We were telling you the truth.
He kind of just waves back.
Sir, she did drive this train. She stopped the train, saved all of us, including yourself, and this train. As you can see by looking over there, and I'll point at like the things of alchemist fire. There is a ton of very flammable alchemist fire that was about to be delivered with your train crashing into the next town that we're supposed to go to.
Star Alaska.
Yes, that one. That's right. Star Alaska. And yes, she saved us. So fucking lay off, please, sir.
He just looks at you with kind of a weird look on his face and goes, "I didn't understand a word you just said, son. You got to speak up a little bit when you're talking to adults. Where's your parents?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
"I don't care. It's fine."
Do you really think that Midge is just a little boy or something? Because he's
And I'm
so
a
small.
tall guy.
He's probably just a bad person.
That's fair. Okay, I should have assumed that. Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, he goes kind of stomping back off, very slowly but angrily towards his cabin. And yeah, you still have Julian Lazarfeld, the gnome reporter. You have the elderly orc. Let's see, who else didn't I kill? I know I said that.
Who else didn't I kill?
Nixie, Whitepaw, the Dragon Shard hunter, the shifter.
Oh, she made it too?
She did. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
as far as the people that you met, the only ones that you saw amongst the zombies, you did see a couple of hobgoblins in the dining car. Pretty much everybody from Steerage didn't make it. That was one of the places that was mostly undefended. But you actually do see two hobgoblins now, and they're amongst everybody else. You didn't see them in any of the sleeper cars. The redheaded bard died without anyone ever knowing his name or his story.
No one liked him anyways.
And Torberg, who was the wealthy
The
dwarf.
rich dwarf. Yeah.
Yes, he died. Yeah, and pretty much all of the crew. You saw a number of the zombies who were dressed as stewards. I will say you can check the train if you wanted to find anybody else, but that's what you can tell.
I just want to look up at. Oh God, I keep forgetting her name. Why did I write that one down?
Lucy.
Lucina.
Lucina? Why do I have his name down but I don't have hers? So I look up at Lucina, kind of. Well, I guess I can only reach like the middle of her back and just pat her on the back. And despite what he says, you did wonderful, and I hope that somebody of importance realizes that. But I have to go. We're missing people, so this beautiful woman and that beautiful woman, scary but beautiful woman. We're gonna go check on our friends, and it's in your hands right now. I'm gonna go over to Mourning and Rami and pat Rami on the back as well. He don't mind him.
Let's check in on Cyrus, and I unwind a piece of wire from around my hand like a ring, and I look at like that, and I go, Cyrus.
I don't like it.
Love everything she does.
I can sense that the Tadaruk is alive. Are you alive as well?
What are you doing, actually?
I'm sending a message to you.
Okay.
So you hear that in your head.
How does it work again? Can I respond?
It's like 25 words.
It sounds wet.
Are you underwater? It sounds... The reception on this isn't very good.
Just like the inside of your ear gets like a little, like you stick. It's
Hot breath.
It's like a wet willy. Like, I respond. I've secured the airship that was attached to the train. Your Tanaruk is fine. Terry, I think his name is.
I don't think any of the rest of us knew there was an airship.
Yeah, I go.
Like,
Apparently,
we didn't go
there's
up top.
apparently, there's an airship, but Cyrus has.
Good job
secured it.
slowing the train down. You should send up Rami when you can. I think she can control this thing.
Ooh.
Would you like to drive an airship, Rami?
I don't know how.
And Lucina kind of pops up. She goes, "It's so much easier than you think."
Do we need to? Are we? Maybe we should figure out what our plan is, because we're kind of stuck here.
We're not if we have an airship.
The train's not moving, right?
Yeah, the train's come to a full stop.
Do we get the sense
Somebody call 911.
Right.
We need emergency assistance immediately.
There's no law out here.
Well,
Nah, you're in Breland. I'm sure there's laws. Not good ones, but they are.
Exist, unfortunately.
Yeah. So let me.
what if we grab just Whistler and head up top and get on the airship and go notify the next town that there is an abandoned train with a bunch of alchemist fire on it and passengers.
And Pontus looks to you, goes, "Yes, let's grab Whistler. That sounds like a good idea.
Yes.
I've been here the whole time."
Of course, yeah. Well, you were right over. I just assumed you could hear a conversation.
I could hear everything.
Well, the alchemist fire is still dangerous. Like, we probably should get everybody off the train and away from it, just in case.
We gotta be able to. Oh wait, I can't talk to him. Never mind.
Yeah.
I guess let's climb up. Let's climb up so we can all group and then make the decision.
Yeah, Rami's gonna probably dismiss the methods just because fire and alchemist fire.
Yeah, it's probably good that you do, because actually you see one of them, even though they are under your control, they're mischievous. And there's one of them that's like just about to tap one of the barrels, and it just just a little puff of magmic flame just goes away. Farts into non-existence. So you all go on top of the train. You see the airship there. You can't necessarily see Cyrus unless you've left the cockpit, the helm of the airship.
If I knew they were coming up, I'll poke my head up and they see an undead head, a Tanaruk head, and Cyrus's head, and he says, "Ahoy!"
All right. And actually, as they're climbing up, you all see that there's still the wyvern that's attached to the train. And as all of you climb up, it kind of looks at each of you individually, kind of cocks its head a little bit, and then just flaps and flies off.
Bye.
Did it look
Vaguely
dead
concerning.
or alive?
It was alive. Yeah.
It was alive.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
Pretty intact wyvern.
That one didn't have a bone knight on it? There was one that did.
You killed that bone knight.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he died, came back, and died again.
So
Yes, there
that
was.
wyvern lost its daddy. It's just an orphan wyvern now.
Yeah, it's gonna go off and make its own wyvern life.
So sad.
Fare thee well.
I always wanted to be a singer, Dad.
Yeah.
Um,
Dreams are ruined.
Rami is concerned and like clinging on to Morag when she sees like the undead skeleton face, just like
There's another one.
Yeah.
Cyrus says, "No, he's a friend. Does he have like a dog tag or something that could tell me his name, like on him at all? I don't know. If
there aren't necessarily. That's a good question as to whether
Identifiers.
dog tags exist in this
Right.
world. I will actually
Absolutely.
leave that up to Cyrus. Does Karnath, does its military use something like dog tags?
They probably have some sort of identifying marker to like reclaim bodies. You got to know who is like willing to be raised as undead and not, and
Oh, that brings up something else. Whether that was compulsionary or not.
yeah.
Check his wallet.
I don't think he has a butt, much less pants or a wallet.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of the muscle tissue back there. We'll say that actually his name has now, since he is mostly skeletal, has been carved into his jawbone.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Yeah,
That's
fancy.
practical. What
Yeah.
is it? Are you gonna do that?
I will. If you would like to name him, I did not have a name for these fellows. So if you would like to name him, you can. Otherwise, I can pull something out of my
Make it
butt.
rhyme. It has to rhyme with Terry.
No, it does not have to rhyme with Terry.
They all have to rhyme with Terry. Looks like a
I
berry
was
to me.
thinking something German since I've been like on a German vibe with the Karnathi peeps.
While
So-
you're thinking of that,
Could name him Pelzer. That's a Faulpelzer is lazy bones in German.
Ooh.
But that wouldn't have been his name originally. Oh, that would have been ironic if it was though.
That's right. Yeah. Although to everyone else, if you know Latin, you'll notice that there will be more grave scholars as we go along, including Pondus. All of their names directly translate something in Latin.
Yeah,
Because
Pondus is
that
a
kind of-
Latin name, isn't it?
yeah, Pondus Verus. Yeah.
I didn't know.
I load Rami and Midge on the back of my broom, and I fly us up to the airship.
Okay. Nocken is the German word for bones. Directly translates. Thanks, Google. All right. So yeah, you're all aboard this pretty piecemeal airship at this point. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a moderate size. So you are on what would be considered the top deck. You can see the helm, which has several windows. It is fully enclosed, and then there also is a hatch which leads below deck as well.
Are you sure there's no more bad guys here?
I'm absolutely not sure that there's no more bad guys here.
Oh.
How big is
Let's keep-
this? Like,
We'll say it is probably how big is one of the train cars. It's pretty much the entire length of a train car, which is what was it 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, about 50 feet.
50 feet. Okay.
Okay.
I feel
But then it
bad.
has like layers. You said there's at least like 2, like floors.
Yeah, much like if you think of your traditional sailing vessel,
Yeah.
you'll have your cargo area.
Okay.
I'm so excited. It's an airship, y'all.
As we were
Whoa!
flying up to it, did we notice any like name on the prow, or the serial number scratched off because it's stolen, or?
Yeah, the only markings.
Hag.
Yeah, the only markings you noticed were the big painted green claws on the side of it, and the additional metal pieces and spikes and everything. But yeah, no name. This is definitely something that didn't come this way. It was not built like this. It's probably been stolen from somewhere.
Yeah.
I think my undead soldier's name will be Hans.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yoo-hoo.
Do you just get to keep him forever now?
It lasts 24 hours, and I can cast it
And-
like once a day, and so it's going to be up to Derek whether or
Is
not
he like
he can get another save at it, or if I can like command him to not save. like just accept my like command
See-
of him?
It's a good thing you're not doing this like right at bedtime, and
Right.
like you don't wake up one morning and he ends up stabbing you in your sleep.
Oh,
Bad way. To
No,
wake-
Hans.
Yeah.
No.
Don't betray me.
So yeah, in his jawbone is in Carnathi lettering is carved Hans.
Cool. Well,
Interesting.
he is mine at least for 24 hours.
That's right.
Well, Mr. Cyrus, you really know how to make friends everywhere you go. I'm not worried about this one taking my job. He doesn't look very fresh. So, what do we, Mr. Cyrus? We were talking down below with all the death and carnage. What are we gonna do? Are we gonna stay here with this train and somehow get these people off, or are we gotta leave and notify somebody? What do you guys want to do?
Well, what's going on with the train? Anything I should know about? Is
Alchemist
it
fire?
Clear of undead? Oh, there's alchemist fire. Did I know that? I like left before I think we figured that out.
Maybe.
I think
Yeah.
you
I think
hopped
you.
up before like they
Yeah.
came in and said that's what it was.
Well, that's dangerous. We should probably get everybody off the train and away
or
from
vice
it.
versa. Can we not take the alchemist fire off the train and keep the people and the safety of the train?
I think the safest thing is to not touch it or move it, right? Because we know it's volatile. I think
Well,
our
if it lasted that
Whistler
long
told us that.
on
right?
the train,
I don't want to take any chances.
What if we move everyone to the helm car and then just detach the car with the alchemist fire on it and have everybody drive that front drive the helm into the next town and then just notify people.
How far are we from Starlasker?
That is a good question. If you would like to figure out where you are, you can roll a survival check.
Ooh.
Is anybody good at that? Because I'm not.
Nah,
Nope.
I have a
Oh.
+1. Yeah.
It's going well. Anybody? Oh, a little bit better.
We'll have Pondus roll as well
Please.
and see if
Please.
where's
I'm sure he's seen a map or two in his day.
what is it? Survival's wisdom, right? Let's
Yep.
do,
We are.
Yes, it is.
And what's this survival considered in reference to?
it's trying to figure out where you are.
Okay, I just needed to because I have proficiency in what's it called? Cartographer's tools. I don't know if that helps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was kind of trying to see if.
oh,
You would have looked at a map. Yeah, look at you.
Oh, look at
All
that.
right. Everybody's going like, well, there's trees.
Are there any
Yeah.
trees on the map?
There's no trees on the map. This map sucks. So Midge, while everybody's kind of looking around and they're like looking up at the sun, and you see Pondus is actually he's got like his hand up and he's trying to do like the Moana thing, but there's no stars. You look out and you squint just a little bit, but there in the distance, as you look towards the southwest, are several large, incredibly large, to actually see them from this distance, stones, large pillar-like stones, all black. It's hard for everyone else to see, but as you focus, especially recognizing what these are, that's Dragon's Crown. That's a special. Nobody's really sure exactly what it is, but it's kind of used as a place marker more than anything else. It's a series of stones kind of in the middle of nowhere that are hundreds and hundreds of feet tall that have been there as long as anybody can remember. But that would tell you that you were just a little bit past the intersection for the lightning rail that would go north towards Hathril. You were still on track to get to Starlasker, but you are still, let's see, how many miles is that? You are still about 3, maybe 2.5 miles from Starlasker.
Oh wow.
So 250 miles. Holy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, can I do some calculations and see whether they're gonna have? Well, never mind. They'll definitely have enough fuel or whatever, elemental juice to get there with. Just
It's not based on fuel. It's just based on elemental power, which is basically infinite as
Okay.
long as the elementals are bound.
Do I know that can all be self-contained in the front? That's kind of what I'm looking at. Is like, do they need anything from any of the other cars to transfer, Or
Well,
can
there's
it all be-
definitely the stuff from the cargo car. Which, if you were thinking about that, there's the stuff that was bound for New Sire. Everybody else has stuff. You saw plenty of belongings that were in the cargo car. Just the front one. There is a back one as well. And you would also know that the helm has 6 beds, and besides that, standing room is pretty limited. It's made. The helm is basically made for kind of staff. The actual helm, where you sit and control the car, that has 4 seats. And otherwise, if you were going to be transporting everybody, it'd probably be a little tight, especially if you're bringing belongings along.
I
Well,
huddle everybody up,
Mhm.
like away from Terry a little bit. I'm like, we could like get everybody into a safe spot, and then Terry could handle the scary alchemist fire and take it off the train. And if he blows up, then
I like him better than you, though.
he
Ah!
he will be reborn
Oh, okay.
and in the abyss. It's not an end. It's painful, obviously, but he's expendable.
Oh, well, that's a
Maybe if
plan.
we just move all the bad stuff to the last car and take that car off.
Yeah,
But
I
then
mean,
that would
the-
be left on
yeah,
the tracks and
right,
someone
a
could
bomb
crash
on the
into
tracks.
it.
Mhm.
But Terry could carry everything off of the train and into a field or something like that.
Midge, you're an
But-
expert at this. Is there like an alchemical solution? Can we like pour water on it and make it so it's not dangerous anymore?
Neutralize it.
Yeah.
I don't believe for that amount there's this. No, we don't have anything to dissolve it to
Oh.
the point. What we could do is we could just straight
Baby
up
soap.
dump the shit out. But then you run the risk of long-term exposure to fire and forest fires and stuff. I don't know what the landscape looks around us, but
Pretty arid.
We don't want it to get into the water table, that's for sure.
yes, absolutely. So we're probably best to get authorities to handle it. I say we make sure. I mean, that's my vote. My vote. I know you guys are cooler and stuff, but I just voting for let's get everybody safe first, and then we worry about the chemicals. If they don't have a helm to drive it, it's not going anywhere unless they pick it up piece by piece, which is not very economical for them, bad people. So
I keep Midge around because he's smart, so whatever he says, I think is probably the best course of action.
Well, we can't just leave everybody's stuff behind.
they can bring what they can carry, and I'm sure Old Man Rivers will make sure that people come back to get the rest of their stuff.
Hmm. And
So
there's all
as you're
this stuff
discussing
that-
this, Pondus actually looks over the side and he goes, "You do notice there's only one track that goes through here, right?"
Yeah, so a train would come along and smash into this one.
I mean,
Well,
In
potentially.
theory.
Okay, then
That's what I was saying.
if there's one track, there should be some kind of list, some kind of timetable list that can be adjusted from the helm. Maybe our new awesome train pilot chick over there, who is super good at this, maybe she could, find a way to signal to somewhere that there's the train disabled on the tracks. I mean, there's got to be a way to transmit that, right?
Yeah, is there any communication equipment?
Would you like to check that out? Go down into the train?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's probably good.
Yeah, you go down to the train. Everybody's still, Whistler did not go up with you. He's still trying to calm everybody down. Not doing well. You do see there is a sending station, which you would recognize is part of. Oh, for now, House Civis, and to use requires a dragon mark of House Civis.
Oh,
Basically like an instant communication sort of thing, and they're the ones that kind of have the monopoly on it.
so that would mean that somebody is probably mandated to be here with that house mark on it. How many dead
One of the
people
pilots.
How many skin grafts did you guys find of dead people on dead people?
Just the one piloting the airship for me.
And there was the man who was piloting the train. Our
So-
steward, he had his taken away from him.
Well, I would assume that communication is a very, very important ordeal for this traveling thing. we can ask that the old man, grumpy old man, maybe somebody more taller and manly like Morag or Cyrus can ask the grumpy old man what if there's a person on here mandated to be on here like that, and then we could look for their skin graft thing and make a call.
Do we know the alchemist fire? Did it originate on the train, or was it brought with the terrorists when they boarded?
You saw the veterans essentially. The not the Bone Lord, but the other armored individuals were the ones carrying in the alchemist fire. And if you guys want to know more about alchemist fire, you can always do an Arcana check. We can use that if you want to figure out if there was maybe an alchemical solution to it, or at least figure out how safe it is to move.
Midge,
We know it's nominally safe as we. They brought it on. It could be brought off.
Mhm.
I have a -1 to Arcana. Oh, but I rolled better than Robbie.
Oh.
yeah.
All right. So Midge and Morag, you would both reason that, yeah, because it's been brought in barrels, alchemist fire it's very similar to pitch, or essentially the equivalent to it was supposed to be Greek fire, which is basically napalm. So it is this black semi-adhesive substance that explodes on contact. But as long as it's not being as long as there's not like a large impact involved, or as long as it's not lit on fire, it's pretty much safe to transport, and especially in these barrels. You can kind of reason that the intention wasn't for a slight jostling of the train to blow up hundreds of miles before they got to Starlasker, but more so for the train to collide with something else in Starlasker, probably another train, and then the fire and collision and everything like that would then set off a separate explosion of the alchemist fire, and then with the Mabaran resonator, raise a bunch of zombies and cause complete havoc and basically destroy an entire city.
Pretty good plan, all told.
Thanks.
I say we remove the fire from the train, send the train on its way, and then take this airship to our mission.
That's pretty good. And like, how far did you say you can have your friend? Like, how far can your friend be away from you that you can still control it?
We are on a timetable, not a distance table. He is probably down to like a half an hour at this point or less.
Probably, yeah.
Do you think he can carry all these barrels out and maybe like throw some brush on them and hide them, and we can, have them tell somebody?
Certainly.
If we have that kind of time, we could use the muscle. And
I will say, you are also hundreds of feet off the ground. This isn't like train tracks on the ground. These are raised platforms that allow it to move through without something like
they're
fucking chimera laying on the tracks. They put them up in the air to try to avoid all of the terrifying, horrifying things that exist in
So just pitch them
Eberron.
over the edge. The explosion
God.
at the bottom of the canyon wouldn't matter to us.
Well, it would destroy the track, right?
I think we should just keep going. I mean, they took it on the airship and brought it here. So I think it's
we
safe in the
keep going.
barrels.
How long is it to Starlasker?
250
So
miles.
yeah, 250 miles, 30 miles per hour.
That's some math.
Yeah, you got a little bit more ways to go.
Yeah.
Like
That's like 9
6
hours.
hours or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something.
Okay. Yeah, I think if we secure them really well on the train and then drive the train there, it should be all right.
What if we bring it to the back car and then release the back car?
Then another train might come by and ram into it.
I know, but what if somebody fucks with us on the way there?
Is
Well,
there,
we'll
any
be fine.
reason, is there any reason we have to accompany this train any further? We have our own vehicle now.
We don't know that we can drive that yet. Rami hasn't tried.
Rami's awesome. She'll be able to drive it. I can tell.
I don't know. These people need help.
It's written on her face.
We should.
I will say, you all have a lot of good ideas. You have a lot of questions, and I think all you need to do at this point is try to apply the answers to some of those questions. You've come up with at least 4 solutions that I was like, yes, that one. So yes,
Let's just keep driving the train. I'd say.
Let's secure the fire stuff and make it so it's not jostled around or anything, and no one can get to it easily. And then we'll drive the train and we'll escort these guys all the way to Starlasker, like our plan was.
Okay, let's do that. But let's sit in the airship while we do this.
Yeah, in our own secret.
And
port,
then Rami
away
can
from everyone
practice
else.
driving it while it's tethered, like
Yeah, like-
training wheels.
Yeah, training wheels. Yes.
Okay, that's
Just
fine.
keep it tied down. so
Airship
it's
training
up.
wheels.
So if we're gonna do that and we're not gonna be on the train, we should probably let someone who is gonna be on the train kind of know
Pondus.
the plan. You leave Pondus behind.
Pondus is super smart, right, Pondus? You could totally help out down here.
I was thinking Ivan, but all right.
Well, I
Uh,
mean,
Yes, I'm fully supportive of your plan, and I'll help in any way I can.
yeah, he's the only one smart enough to help these people out.
I guess that's true. All right, Pondus, you're the point man on the train.
All right, so I'm just conveying the message and asking Lucina to drive the train while simultaneously securing all of the alchemist fire all by myself.
You got this. Whistler can help you with that too.
Now, Whistler's. We need him to help weight
Yeah.
differential in the boat. It's very
Well,
scientific.
You're smarter than I am. I guess if that's a thing, then we
Pondus looks at his very slight frame and goes, I sure hope that I don't knock over any of those barrels.
he raises like a shaky arm.
That's it.
Got the tremors.
Oh no, this is a bad idea.
I don't know. Not all of us need to be on the airship. We're not like leaving the train behind, right? We're gonna escort it to Star Alaska. So
Correct.
Like Rami can go up there, and
Yeah,
Midge
but
would
what
probably
if-
be good up there?
If things go bad, we should be together.
So we can ditch the train, Midge.
Not ditch. Just saying, if a Scud missile comes flying through the air, arcane blast of large magnitude, and there's gonna be survivors. Who's gonna save the day if Pondus is up here and dead people are down there? I'm just saying. Come on.
I
Mr.
think we
Simon.
should split our forces so
Oh
we can
my.
secure both
Split
areas.
the party. Here we go.
Yeah.
At this point,
We're dead.
you hear a large explosion from below.
Yeah.
A large
Uh-oh.
boom. Quite far below. Not directly beneath your feet, but almost like fireworks, where it's far enough away, but loud enough. And as you all look over the side, looking up at you from the open cargo door is Whistler, and he just waves. He goes, "Hello. Everyone was very unsettled by the amount of alchemist fire, so I chose to be proactive and dispose of it.
Hmm. That
So
was one of the good ideas.
don't go down there."
That's going to be bad for the environment. But all right.
As you
Well,
look down,
well-
there's a family of deer just hopping along. It's
Napalm.
very early Disney, and then just it goes immediately into Armageddon Now,
Mhm.
Apocalypse Now. Yeah, that the other one. Yeah, Armageddon Now. They're the the usable one, the one you won't get sued for.
Nice.
So yeah, Whistler disposes of another barrel, and once again, you're not anywhere where the tracks actually have supporting beams.
Okay.
So you watch as another barrel goes,
I love
whistling
it.
towards the ground, and pretty sizable explosion. And yeah, by the
nice
time
work, Whistler.
Well, he already started it. We might as well finish it and just fucking move on for real.
Yep.
and he looks down, and he goes, "It's a good thing there's not any water for miles. There's no water table to poison."
Ruin. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
Whistler
which is
Okay.
actually true. You're in the middle of goddamn nowhere. There's nothing nearby
But
except for
now
Dragon's
that
Crown.
like fire burns forever, it's like permanent. It's just permanent fire right there. On
That's
the
okay.
The claw member who was driving the airship, who
Mhm.
is on the airship still,
Mhm.
I take out my sickle and I take the skin graft off of him.
Okay,
What happens to the mark when I remove it from his body?
it's still
Gross.
on the skin. Yeah.
Does,
It-
do
Go
they
ahead.
glow? Do they have some sort of arcane like?
slap it on your
visibility?
own skin and see what that does.
So judging from what you saw with Lucina, does Morag have a lot of experience with dragon marks?
Mm-mm.
So
No.
judging from what you saw from Lucina, you notice that her dragon mark only really started to glow and activate at all when she was using it. You might have even seen this maybe with Remy, if that's something that happens to hers when she casts spells that are directly connected to her dragon mark.
Yeah.
It might have some sort of illumination or colors come to it. But as of right now, it's very reminiscent of a birthmark or a tattoo. It's very dull And yeah, you have a piece of human skin.
I
Write
slap it
that
into
down in your
my book of
inventory.
shadows, and I
Like
go
a bookmark. Ugh.
and
Ew.
I also, when we get back to the train, I want to take the one that was on the other guy that was driving the train.
Okay.
So
We're at the train
mark
right
of
now.
house what?
So you have a
Lyrindar.
mark of House Orion and a mark of House Lyrindar. That's O-R-I-E, yeah, I-E-N and L-Y-R-D-A-N.
I think
No,
there's an A in there.
yeah, I'm trying. I never did
Lyra.
spelling bees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Disembodied marks of Orion and Lyrindar.
We found
In the
out
Book of
that
Shadows.
Derek's a math guy today, not a spell.
Oh no! Don't put that on me.
Don't put that bad vibes.
You're just gonna start a collection and just like, what do we need today?
And I mean, like, if we have time while we're driving, I
collection.
would like to poke around on these other dead bodies and see if they have any sonar marks too.
Yeah, you have quite a few piles of bodies that are just kind of like. Well, actually, they're people had to kind of force their way through them because you kind of made a zombie plug in between the sleeper car and the dining or it was a sitting car.
Should we
Standard
just pitch
car.
them off as well into the fire we made and just do like a
Not
big
the
fire
civilians,
thing?
just the. We
Yeah,
don't want to. We don't want
What happened to the passengers?
We want to let their family. I mean, Morag probably wouldn't think about that, but
We're a
the
bunch
green.
of like Emerald Claw zombies and guys.
Yeah, those guys we can pitch overboard.
Yeah, pitch them off into the fire.
But I want to check them for marks just in case.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you so Morag goes poking through the piles of bodies. You do find that let's see, there was the mark taken from your steward. I think if there was
That was
any
on the
other-
guy that was driving the train, right?
Correct. Yeah.
That was an Orion mark.
Yeah, that was Parson. So he had his mark taken from him, which you recovered from the Emerald Claw. There are a couple other Orion marks, which are on a couple of the other stewards. None of the civilians from steerage seem to have anything. The two hobgoblin bodies don't have anything. The bard is pretty much unmarked. Trying to think. If
Morag
there was...
is now on a mission to collect them all.
gotta collect.
Oh,
Gotta
my.
catch
Like
them
your
all.
Pokemon badges.
Yeah,
Gotta cut them
put them
all.
all in her Book of Shadows.
Ew.
And yeah, I would say if you're going through all the bodies, you do notice that one of the zombies that was dressed in steward's uniform does have a mark of House Civis, which is actually on their forearm.
And as on this zombified body, does the mark look intact, or is it withered?
It's pretty
and
intact.
gross?
Yeah, it hasn't been removed. It's you can probably reason that the Emerald Claw didn't see any need to send word ahead of their impending disaster. So they only took
That's
the
what
marks that they
Civis
needed.
does. They're the
They're the-
Yeah, House Civis is communication, translation, identification, and verification. They have speaking stones. They're decent at cartography, barristers, heralds, all that kind of stuff.
cool.
Eh,
That
I'm
could be-
on a collection
Yeah.
rant now, so I cut that guy off and put him in my book too.
Awesome. All right, you have three of the how many marks are there? There's 3, 6, 9, 12. So counting aberrant marks, there's 15.
So I definitely don't want Morag to know I have like a rare mark.
Everything I put
sorry,
in my Book of
14.
Shadows, my coven, my daughters of Sorakel can see, so they're getting this information.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe
Alright.
this will all end with you returning to Merrick's and just Morag just jumping on him and cutting his mark off.
Mark of making, I think, is what he is.
Yeah, House Canneth. All right,
So the train's getting moving again, right?
Yeah, we'll say at this point, Whistler has removed all of the alchemist fire from the cargo car. We'll say the other passengers have tried to somewhat ceremoniously collect all of the bodies into the steerage car, of which there are quite a few, and they're kind of laying on both the benches and the floor. And the remaining surviving passengers have kind of gathered into the standard and sleeper car. Lucina, at your advice, has taken to the helm again. Ivan is actually standing over her at this point, refusing, even though he has a mark as well, refusing to take the helm. But she is now in the main pilot, not the co-pilot seat. What else did you guys want to do? You're all sitting in the airship.
Well, I mean, if we go back up to the airship,
Rami,
let's-
or like
we leave.
Rami was going to. Sorry, I have to reach something. As she's kind of like has been sticking around with Morag, but as Morag's cutting up bodies and it's kind of gruesome, so she's just like not into it. She is going to go
and flame
try to
bodies.
find Midge
Detail.
as they get moving again while they're doing all that stuff. Try to find Midge and get his attention.
Excuse me, Midge.
Uh-huh.
Could you come? I need your advice and your help. Could you come help me with something, please?
You're not gonna make more like tiny death creatures, are you?
No. I promise.
Okay.
I won't.
Sure. Yeah, sure. What do you need, dear?
She's going to then try to go like peek up onto like the roof, like access, and like look at the airship and just.
Do you know how those work?
Not exactly, but from what the others are saying, you are hopefully gonna be able to make it go. I can help you like fly it as far as helping you where you need to go, but I don't know how to run it myself.
Well, I've never even seen one before, and you have this your Ahab. You have Ahab, and he can fly. And do you think it translates somehow?
Oh yeah, I know how Ahab works. I can tell you how it works. I just don't know how to. I don't know how to pilot it.
Oh.
But yeah. As far as mechanical function, absolutely. I can walk through the physics with you if you like, but I think you need to really focus on getting in there and getting some experience. Why don't you, once we start moving, like Morg said, it's attached to the train. Just give it a whirl. Try it. I mean, worst you're gonna do is smash it into the train. Which
Well, I guess there's no
pretty
more
bad, but-
alchemist fire anymore. But
No, you'll be fine. It's in your blood. You'll be fine.
well, is that really the case? I mean, I wasn't raised like that, and I mean, even Lucina at least was kind of raised in the general family.
Yeah, but she had never drove a train before today, and you have never flown an airship before today. This is the most optimal position. I've run the numbers. This is the most optimal position to begin learning how to fly an airship. This is as good
You
as it
think
gets,
so?
sister. Yeah, and I think it'll be fine. You can't fly off because you're strapped to the train, and if you hit it, you're only going to bounce so far because you have tethers.
Okay,
We
I
need
guess
you.
I can
You got this.
try.
Yeah. Don't worry. No stress. We're all gonna be there. No one's gonna laugh at you except for maybe Pondus, but we'll make him.
Sowing the seeds of
The smear campaign against Pondus continues.
Yes. Yeah. But don't worry. We're all behind you. You got this.
Okay. Maybe I'll try once we get going a little farther away from all the fire.
No, you should try now. Oh well, yeah. I mean outside. Yeah, you don't want to breathe that shit in. But yeah. Once we start moving, that's the perfect time. Before we start moving, so you're not flying off the side of the train. Yeah, we climb up. You try it out. I'll hang out with you. I don't want to be down here if we get attacked again.
You'll come with me and you'll help.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you, Midge.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Okay. Once they do get going, that's when she's going to eventually try to work up the nerve to get up there. But if there's anything that needs to happen in the meantime.
Yeah. Anything from anybody else before you guys take off?
I think I'll lay on hands myself for the hit points I'm missing.
Okay.
Is anybody else on the
kiss-
train hurt?
I am.
I took a couple
Ramy's
points.
hurt.
Yeah.
How much are you missing?
Ramy is from 43 to 28. So, like 15. Yeah.
I'll give you 15 health.
Thank you.
I'm good.
I kiss Terry goodbye, and I say,
You kiss him full on the mouth with
when,
tongue.
when you
It's-
come back,
horns.
It's grim by the horns.
Oh,
when you come back, you will do better next time.
oh, that's
And he disapparates.
All right.
It's depressing and erotic at the same time.
it's Mourning in a nutshell for
It's
you.
a great
Yeah.
way to live.
So yeah, at this point, Whistler has finished unloading all of the barrels as they went tumbling hundreds of feet to the ground and
To
exploded.
explode.
Yeah, and Nixie kind of leans over and she goes, "Love the smell of alchemist fire in the morning. Smells like victory." And there you go. There's your Apocalypse Now reference. Is that Apocalypse Now? I don't know. It's one of those Vietnam movies.
That was Full Metal Jacket, I think.
It was Forrest Gump.
Any
was
of those could be
All
right.
of them. It was all of them. Yes. Okay.
Bridge over the River Kwai. Is that one World War II? I don't know. Patton. Anyway, yeah, the train starts to move as Lucina takes the helm once again, and yeah, before long you are traveling at 30 miles an hour. Yeah, cargo bay has been closed. Whistler is kind of just standing around the cargo bay, just keeping an eye on stuff. Everybody else has retaken their cabins. Those that were in steerage have taken the cabins of those who unfortunately became zombies. The two hobgoblins took the rooms of the dwarf and the redheaded individual. And yeah, you guys got a little bit more on the train. You still have the airship, which is harpooned in. You do get a little wind coming in from the several holes which have been pierced in the roof of the several cars, including the wyvern claw holes and the harpoon holes, and I'm sure the Mephits burned something somewhere. But yeah,
They're
Mephits are
little
gone.
fire bastards. Yeah, they probably did.
But yeah, Tanneruk's gone, Mephits are gone, and yeah, you guys can do whatever you'd like for the rest of the trip. You essentially have free reign of the train.
What
you
time
want
of
to-
day is it?
So at this point, you're probably getting to about 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, so for anybody who's wondering, Eberron absolutely does have 24-hour days,
Convenient.
which is nice of them to note. Yeah, 24-hour day, 7 days a week, 4 weeks every month, 12 months in a year. There are only 336 days in Eberron calendars. But there are several cars that you haven't checked out if you'd like. There's beyond the dining car, which is as far as you've been. There's also the galley car, which is where the food is made. And then there's the steerage car where the bodies were stacked by the other passengers, and an additional cargo and helm.
Yeah, I
We
think
take-
Cyrus would like to do like a full patrol of the train and just like check in on all of the survivors, make sure everyone's okay, and see if anyone needs anything.
Can we
Sure.
take like a hour short rest first and then go do that all together? Because then I could get my
Damn
spells
warlocks
back.
always wanting short rests.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Hey, I need one too.
Yeah, absolutely. Short rest, catch your breath. Certainly, you all have your first class rooms. So, anybody wants to roll your hit die or wants to regain spell slots or locks, yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I get anything on a short rest.
I don't think I'm gonna short rest either.
I'm at full health, but like, yeah, none of my features come back, so I don't need a rest.
Could really use some.
I
spell
guess
slots.
Ramy and Morag are gonna take a nap.
Yeah, we just like put our feet up and chillax for an hour.
Yeah, more.
Oh, I want to go to Whistler and heal him. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go mending,
yeah.
mending the shit out of him.
Yeah, so Warforged operate a lot like regular
people.
playable characters normally do. It doesn't really take like craftsman tools to fix a Warforged. They're cybernetic in the sense that definitely pieces of them are metal, but the inside is actually living. It is a living, like the wood, and I can't remember, it has a certain name, but they are living organic creatures.
See, I thought mending worked on them though. Like it
I
does.
don't think it
for-
does.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
No,
Sorry for touching you that way, Mr. Whistler. I thought this would help. It works on Ahab.
no, he's got some scuffs on him, so yeah, certainly from the ghouls and everything else trying to slobber all over him. You clean that up, and he looks at you and goes, "Thank you, friend. I appreciate that very much."
Oh, you did. Anytime. You are awesome, and you are super helpful, and we appreciate you.
He looks. He goes, "Are you all right?
Yeah.
Were you injured?"
No, you made sure I didn't get injured. You protected me.
That's what I hoped to do. I'm glad I was successful.
You were very successful. And I won't forget that. It's in here.
What is?
The fact that you kept me safe.
Oh. Oh, that's where you keep things. That is good to know.
Yeah. It's like my memory banks. I don't know where you keep things, but yeah, it's like that.
I understand.
Good. Well, okay. If you need anything else, I'm going to go up and check on. I write down a fucking name, Lucina, and make sure everything's going okay with getting us, continuing on to our next destination. Yeah. Good job today, Whistler. Very good job.
Thanks, you too. Also, it is good to know that you have memories up there. When I was in the war, I cut off many, many people's heads, and more often than not, they had brains, skulls, and blood in them. So it's good that you have memories in there.
Yeah, mine holds a lot of those. Yeah, I don't like. I really do not prefer not to have my head cut off. Yeah.
I understand. It tends to be bad.
Yes. Yeah. That's a pretty high probability of it being bad.
Not
Okay.
always, though.
No? When does it go?
Well, it's often bad, but it sometimes it doesn't stop someone the entire way.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes they keep going for just a little bit. Or if they have two heads, I've seen that before.
That seems confusing. Wow. Okay.
It's
Good
just
luck.
extra work. You
Good
too.
luck good luck to that person. And good luck to you. Yep.
Oh, yes. Goodbye.
See you, Whistler. Like that guy. And I'll make my way back up to the helm while the gals are napping.
Yeah, and Lucina's up there. She's piloting the train. Ivan is in one of the seats behind her, and he's fallen asleep at this point. He's loudly snoring behind her, and she seems to be droning it out.
Okay.
But the train is moving forward at moderate speed, and yeah, she doesn't seem to notice you when you come in.
Lucina, hey,
Oh, hi.
I don't want to wake your relative up here. Hey, if you need anything, is everything going okay up here? Do you need anything?
As far as I can tell, everything's going just fine. Do you know where exactly we are? Because I don't know when I should begin to stop this.
Yeah. Do you see those? Do you see those landmark things over there? Those pillars?
Yeah, you point out, and she does see Dragon's Crown, which you're moving around, but yeah, you can still see them at this point. She goes, "Oh, that's Dragon's Crown, isn't it? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I know where we are. I think that I can get us. I think I can get us into station, more or less. Minimal walking.
I hope so. Listen, let somebody know if you get too tired. I don't know how we're going to replace you here at the helm for you to sleep, but it's about.
Oh no, you'd actually be surprised. These elementals are rather energizing, and yeah, I don't feel like sleeping at all.
Good, because it's gonna be approximately another 9 hours ish from here. So
Shouldn't be a problem.
Excellent. Fuck. I'll make sure somebody comes and checks on you and see if you need anything like a coffee or something to eat or a bathroom break or something. So I'll make sure somebody comes and checks on you. But I mean, your co-pilot is hard at work. So
You talking about Ivan?
yeah. I'm sure you'll need a morale booster eventually.
I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
Okay, thanks for all your help. Appreciate it. And then I'll leave and go find Cyrus.
I'm making my rounds.
Yeah.
Is everyone doing okay on the ship? All the civilians and passengers, everybody's fine. Nobody's freaking out.
So the passengers that survived did so by locking themselves in their sleeper cars. A number of them are locked in again. You can see the orc is still sitting there with its plant, a little shaken up, but they seem to be doing okay. Nixie seems pretty unfazed by everything. She's sitting in the standard car.
She's
and
an adventurer, so this is kind of like common stuff for her, right?
Yeah, she's got her, her arms behind her head, her feet are kicked up. Let's see, who else was there? Hobgoblins are also in the standard car. Sorry.
All the staff. We didn't lose too many more staff, did we?
You lost the entire staff. There is no staff.
All of the staff are dead?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Who's gonna make my sandwich?
So the hobgoblins are chatting between themselves. You do see the who we discovered is a Kalishtar. You don't see them, so they're probably locked away in the room. They weren't among the bodies. And you also see Jillian Lazarfeld, who is writing fervently and kind of has a weird smile on her face that this might be the best story she could have ever hoped for. And
I
yeah.
like her. She's cool.
Yeah.
She has such a good name.
Yeah.
It's spelled the right way, at least.
All right.
And then can I get to know, I don't know how much I can communicate with Hans. Just try and understand him a little more.
Are you bringing Hans along with you as you check in on people?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. They're a little put off by the armored skeleton. You do see the orc who has its door open, looks up, and then just like quickly shuts the door.
I feel like
and
Cyrus
Hans' face.
doesn't even know like why.
It's
that
everybody's
is.
deal. They all
He's-
got bones.
Yeah, he's so used to like the undead being around and being used as like laborers or soldiers or whatever. Like
Sure.
that it doesn't register on him that something would be bad about this situation.
Yeah.
so- Can I communicate with him at all, or just try and
That-
understand him a little more?
That is a good question because he's pretty skillful. He doesn't have lungs or an esophagus or really anything, and that would really come down to your spell or your channel divinity. I don't think so. It can understand. I don't think it can speak to you.
But it just kind of can follow my orders then.
Yeah, he can. You can do like hand symbols and stuff.
Okay.
Start teaching him ASL or
There you go.
CSL,
Tree.
Common Silent Language.
Washing machine.
All right. Yeah. Well, I will guess take kind of a watch if they're resting for a little while.
Okay.
Just kind of patrol the terrain, make sure nothing else bad happens.
Are you going like front to back?
Yeah, just up and down the aisle or whatever.
So yeah, you check out the standard car, which has Nixie in it. You go back to the dining car, which is pretty empty. Not really like there's a couple of droplets of blood in here on the white table linens, but no bodies really, and it's not too like none of the tables are flipped over or anything. There's just kind of just one of the places where the zombies moved through and onto, and also where the bodies were carried back.
Okay.
And then you get into the galley car, and you're walking through that, and you hear a slight rattling to the left and right in the bottom cabinets.
I look both those directions simultaneously.
Eyes just split. Yeah, you go to move closer to them, and we'll say that Hans is looking to the one on the left, you're looking to the one on the right, and in a swift motion, they both open, and two halflings, armed with kitchen knives and spatulas, leap out at you, and go, "Back off!"
I tell them, "Whoa, we're not enemies. You're not part of the Emerald Claw. They usually have a height restriction, I think."
You got one of them bony fellas, and you look like one of those. You got the blood of Vol on your shield. You're not making a zombie of me.
Oh no, we don't do that against people's will. You have to, sign up to consensually be reincarnated as a zombie.
Well, I ain't signing nothing.
Okay. Are you guys the cooks? What are you doing in here?
And there's a male and a female, and the guy looks to the girl, and he kind of like lowers his knife just a little bit. He goes, "Yeah, we're the cooks.
Oh.
I'm Yaxley. That's Karen. We're from House Gondala. We make you food."
What do I know about House Gandala?
House Gondala is another dragon-marked house. They have the dragon marks are the marks of hospitality. Their symbol is a blink dog, and they are predominantly halflings.
All halflings.
Yeah, they're the ones that
they
own
run the inn, right?
They run
Golden
any
Dragon.
inn which has the mark of House Gondala is an inn you should stay at. It's got like the 5-star Yelp marking and all that. So yeah, they have food, lodging. The ones who own inns tend to trade also in information and favors. And the really successful ones are the ones that own the Gold Dragon inns.
Well, are you guys all right? Were you injured at all?
And they kind of look to each other, and again he goes, "No, we're fine. We hid in the. We started seeing some folks pushing through who were less than alive, and we don't mess with anything like that. That's way beyond our pay grade. So
the proper PC term is deadly abled. We don't use the undead word. That's reductive.
I didn't say undead. I said less than alive.
Okay. Well, if you guys are all right, I'm just patrolling the area to make sure the train's safe.
Yeah, you patrol, soldier boy. You go for it. We got this locked down. All right.
Can you guys like make some food for everybody? I'm sure people are dealing with the after effects of a battle. Could use some food.
Kind of looks at Karen. He goes, "Karen, you fucking believe this shit?" Yeah, we'll make some sandwiches or something. I don't know. Yeah, okay. I guess there's still people like alive on the train. This it hasn't been taken over. We're not like inducted
we got rid of all the
into.
bad guys. We're heading to Star Alaska. We'll be there in like 6 hours or so.
All right, we'll make some dinner. I think we got. Is the fish about to turn? Yeah, it'll be fish.
I had the fish last night, and it was edible, I guess.
But it'll be edible tonight too.
That's excellent. Thank you guys. Let me know if you need anything.
Yeah. And you go beyond the galley car, which is into steerage, and that's where all the bodies are being kept, which has, at this point, after an hour or so, got a slight smell to it. You see the clear markings of Morag's scavenging, but not much else. There's not a... Well, I guess the only undead in here is the one you brought with you.
Yep.
And beyond that, you get into the other cargo car, which has, as far as you can tell, some of the meager belongings of the people that were in steerage. It's definitely not as packed, and what's in there isn't as quality as the stuff in the front steerage car. And beyond that, you get into the helm, which is, as far as you can tell, completely empty. You can see above the helm where the other wyvern had latched, and you also can see where the Bone Lord or Bone Knight, whatever they're called.
The Bone Knight.
Yeah.
Bone Lord.
It's one or the other. But you can see where he was able to get in and where he kind of killed a lot of the passengers before.
Oh, okay. So the whole thing started back here and rushed its way to the front, basically. Other than
with the zombies, it was kind of you would know, especially as a Carnathi soldier, that Carnath really likes a pincer maneuver if they can manage one, and this was definitely a pincer maneuver. There was one guy in the back creating dead bodies, and one guy in the front turning them into zombies. Okay. And that was it is a bone knight, is what they're called. All right, so yeah, you've checked out the train, and it is safe as far as you can tell.
Okay. I don't know if Blood of Vol prays or what their deal is. I mean, they're religious, so I guess maybe, but I'll say a little prayer over all the dead bodies.
Yeah, I'm considering the blood of Vol. It's probably death is the worst fate. According to your religion, they've gone to a place with no hope and no way of ever coming back, and it's a very sad thing. To die is the worst thing that can happen to a person who prays to the blood of Vol.
Okay, so I'll do that briefly, and I don't know. That's good for me.
Okay. All right. So yeah, the train keeps moving. The two halflings create food for everybody. The dining car is packed, but even so, everybody still has a table and a very somber meal. Is there anything anybody else wanted to do, or we'll just have you pull into Star Alaska?
Rami was gonna try after her nap and dinner, I suppose, go like try to crawl up into the airship and like see if she could
Sure.
drag
Yeah.
Midge along with her at least.
Yeah, you get up into the airship. I'm assuming the bodies had been removed by one of you and placed with the others. So it's a little stale in there, with the midday sun coming through and the iron door closed. But yeah, you're able to make it up onto the ship, make it into the helm if you'd like. There's still the cargo area which you haven't checked out. But yeah.
It's probably full of alchemist fire.
Yeah, we should
Undead.
well, we should definitely sweep the ship before we like officially deem this ours. Anyway, I thought that was already a. Yeah, well, let's go look around, make sure there's no more zombies gonna eat you when you're driving, and then we crash to our deaths.
Do you think there could be more?
There could always
Do you
be
want
more.
us all to go with you?
If you guys want.
I
don't want to
I
hurt
can use my
anyone.
divine sense to kind of suss it out and make sure there's no undead on the ship.
We should all go check just to make sure there's not any more bad stuff or alchemist fire or anything.
Here's actually a question I wonder about players sometimes, and everybody's different, so totally fine which either way you go. Are any of you the type of player who checks out dead bodies for equipment? Are you looking for armor, weapons, or anything like that? Is that anything that you guys consider?
If it's like a specific, like in the future, if it was like a specific person, we're like, oh, we know this person has in their possession something, absolutely. But just in general, I don't really loot bodies.
Fair enough.
And
Just for me, anyway.
For me, it depends on the character. Midge isn't gonna loot bodies.
Okay.
I would think Cyrus would probably take a battlefield approach to where he's looking for intel or anything useful, but not like going through their pockets looking for money, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, Morag's more like if they have something arcane or magical or something special about the person, she would probably go through them, like a Dragonmark. But she doesn't care about like bags of gold or anything. So
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, the reason I asked was one of the Bone Knights was armed with a magical weapon, the one that Cyrus was able to kill. It had I think it was a vicious Morning Star. So if that was...
Sell that at least.
Yeah, which, I mean, at the same time, this isn't going to be one of those campaigns where, we've got a set amount of time. Acquiring gold really isn't going to be a big deal. But barring everything else, we can just have Whistler use it.
yeah.
So, but that's the other thing, is I wanted to know if in the future, if you're going to be checking for that sort of thing, if I should arm your enemies with magical items or magical weapons or armor or anything like that. But
yeah,
all right, good to know.
Feel free to arm him.
Whistler earned it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, give it to him. Yeah, give it to Whistler. I tend to, when I remember, like to do like sweeps with after battles with tech magic as a ritual, but I forgot to do it. So yeah,
I'll make it obvious in the future if there's anything on a person that you might necessarily need. But yes, I will probably arm enemies in the future with magical items, and should you choose to take them, you can add them to your character sheet with just a click and a drop. All right. So yeah, Rami and Midge are both aboard the airship right now. What would you both like to do?
Well, if we can, if we want to let Morgan, they're welcome to come up here.
Yeah.
Let's all go.
I feel better with us all being up here. Just saying, in case things go wrong down there. But I understand. I understand why people would want to be down there too.
Cyrus, turn on your divine senses and see if there's any more undead in this place.
All right, I'll activate Divine Sense. So any undead in 60 feet. Here, I'll throw it in the chat.
The only undead that you can sense is Hans. There is, as far as you can tell, no other entities that are celestial fiends or undeads anywhere on the airship or within the car below.
Well, I let everybody know there's no undead, but not all of the Emerald Claw are undead, so there could still be some stowaways.
Let's go check, I guess.
Yeah, start detect magic, but that'll take a while. Okay, good. We'll see. It's good. We brought the muscle and the skin cutting people to help to help scare away the bad guys. We'll go comb the ship.
Yeah.
For stowaways and stuff.
Yeah, you go below deck. There's an Everbright lantern which is hanging from above on the roof, which lights the area. You can see that there's some general cargo. You can definitely see an area where the barrels of alchemist fire were kept. Fortunately, the ship does not have a large quantity on it, or any quantity on it, I should say. You do see sleeping area. There are 2 cabins, and then also there are some kind of hanging hammocks. And let's see, is there anything else? You can also see that there is a weapons rack, 2 weapons racks, and a small pile of bones.
Bones?
Bones.
Oh, that perked Morag right up.
Yeah.
Someone say bones?
I go over and I look at the bones. Are they augury bones?
They are not. It's just it's an assorted pile of human bones. They don't seem to have a magical quantity or kind of setting to them. It's just a pile of bones.
Spare parts for Hans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are any of the bones an upgrade on Hans? Can I swap them?
There's one rib bone that you're like, yeah, he's got a crack in his, and there's one good rib bone there. It pops right into place. I just looting. Thumbs up.
Okay, if there's nothing below deck, then Rami's gonna go.
No, just kind of a living area where everyone who was living in it is now dead.
Fair.
Yeah. There's probably some personal belongings, maybe a couple of chests for them to keep clothes and maybe some loose change in, but not a creature is stirring.
How many people does it look like is a very comfortable number to be accommodated on this ship? As far as between sleeping quarters, the room for living or for the living area.
Yeah.
So you have the 2 cabins, which look like they're probably for, you'd assume, probably the pilot, maybe a first mate, and then the hammocks. You can see that there are 6 of them.
6 hammocks, okay. 6 hammocks, so eight comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
you could probably keep more people on board if you wanted to, but at the same time, the hammocks are tied up. This isn't the original intention of this ship. It's definitely been converted to be an attack ship.
Sure.
And Midge would definitely recognize it as that.
Okay. Well, we have a ship. It's not a very comfortable ship for a lot of people, but we have a ship. Oh boy.
Is that how it works? Is it just ours now?
Well, it wasn't the Emerald Claws to begin with, it looks like.
Mm.
Well, there was no.
They stole it from
Maybe we
someone.
should repaint it before we say it's ours.
We should probably find who it actually belongs to. Is
Oh,
there any
Actually
too.
belongs to us now.
Is there any paperwork or anything? Is there a title in the glove compartment of the cockpit?
I don't think there's a title.
You don't see a title or anything. We'll say that since you're doing a sweep of it, you do go into 2 of the cabins. One of the cabins seems like it was primarily occupied. The other one really doesn't seem like anybody was using it. But inside the one cabin, there is a desk, which does have some pieces of writing on it. They seem to be correspondence, which you would know is weird because these pieces of correspondence don't bear any mark of House Civis or House Orion, meaning that they somehow subverted the normal mail delivery. It's like getting mail without a stamp on it.
Messenger pigeons.
Something, yeah, they're receiving messages somehow, and the correspondents all are seem to especially the ones on top seem to be direct instructions on how to assault the train, including the train that you passed by previously, which seemed to be the more successful attack. Yet you don't see anything that would denote original owners, but all of the. So let me double check one thing because I want to make sure.
Somewhere
Someone
100 miles.
knew. Someone knew enough about the trains to like put together a plan, like of where it would be, like the scheduling, when it would leave, how fast it would go, who would be on it, that kind of stuff.
So that means they might be well aware that when the this train doesn't show up on time, they might be well aware of that and be able to react given the extra time.
Maybe.
And all of the letters are signed the lady.
Lady?
The lady.
Oh God, is it Lady Ilmaro? Cyrus would know who she is, right?
Cyrus would know who Lady Ilmaro is. Well, actually, that I don't know, because that is kind of a secret thing. So we'll say Nate knows who Lady Ilmaro is, but Cyrus can do an intelligence check, especially being from Karnath. Will give it advantage.
Just flat intelligence, or like history or something like that.
You can do history, yeah.
The lady.
Ooh.
Okay. So yeah, Cyrus would have definitely heard tellings of Lady Ilmaro, especially being from Karnath, because most people just assume that the Order of the Emerald Claw are just Karnathi weirdos. They're soldiers from Karnath who are just trying to cause problems for everybody else. But being from Karnath, you would know that's not necessarily true. They don't serve the Order or the Blood of Vol. They don't serve the King of Karnath. They're an extremist group, and who they actually follow is a Lich Queen known as Lady Ilmaro, who is very secretive, and not a lot is known about her except for that she's incredibly powerful and tends to direct the Emerald Claw to perform acts of necromantic terrorism.
Yeah, I'd say Cyrus probably doesn't know very much about her, other than he's heard the name, maybe. As like a theory of who might be in charge of them or something. Like a whispered name to terrify little Karnathi children when they're being bad.
Yeah, there's her, and then there's I can't remember. There's one of the hags, the big one that eats little children.
Morag.
I think Soracatra.
In training.
Catra is the hag, the leader.
No, she's a green hag. Is it Teresa?
Mayna is the hag of war. She's the ogress kind of.
Yeah, it's Mayna. Yeah, third one's charm. Yeah, the Anna's hag. Yeah, so yeah, she's very large, ogre-like, and is the peril of children's stories.
Okay, so it's just signed the lady, not Lady Ilmaro, so that doesn't mean necessarily anything. And like Cyrus might not even believe if Lady Ilmaro is real. He might think she's just like
she's kind of a boogeyman. Yeah.
Boogeyman. Okay. Well, now I have this, and we know that somebody's directing all this chaos.
My long fingers go over the top of Rami's shoulders, and I push her to the driver's seat, and I set her down, and I say, I believe that you can do this, and I give you guidance and say, but 1d4 if you have to make a check or anything.
Okay, awesome.
Instantly starts crashing. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll die together.
Yay.
That's reassuring.
The party. I also want to say that I guess that like a day behind us, there's like an adventuring party that's fighting a whole bunch of train undead that we just like passed, right?
I think they jumped over, right? We fought most of them.
Well, there was a train. What was up with that train that we passed that was also attacked?
It was.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was
Yeah.
Murdered. They killed everybody on board, and I think some of them jumped across, right, Derek?
Nobody jumped
like,
across. You passed by that train.
We had that like crystal, the obelisk thing that was like reanimating everything that was dead, so I could have reanimated them too, and the train just kept going.
Yeah. I guess we should send a message to Rogue.
Well, you do also know that the zombies did all kind of crumble when the barn resonator was destroyed. So
Okay.
So it'll just be a gross train of dead bodies, and they're
Yeah,
gonna
probably.
have a bad time with that.
Better. That's better.
Did we use the communication equipment at all on the train to do anything? Could we?
well, you do know that the only person who had a mark of House Civis has been killed, zombified, and then flayed. You don't know. Nobody else has come forward with the mark of House Civis.
Okay, so yeah, we're
It's
incommunicado.
not the time for that anyway. It's time for Romney to drive a airship.
Got our driver's ed test coming up. Don't hit any cones.
Yeah, but she's got to stay awake for the rest of this drive, right? Or no, she doesn't have to, does she?
Okay, we can just kind of park the airship like it is now, right?
It's
just kind of
it's not going
resting on
anywhere.
top of the train.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how short the stations are when we pull in. I hope it doesn't just, like, slap it off. But
The thought did cross my mind. I won't lie, but no,
Might be a good idea to figure it out then before we get there.
it's a
yeah, it's not like you're going through the drive-through in a semi truck.
Okay.
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they're pretty wide open, stations.
Okay.
Let's get some rest before we get there. I'm running out of juice here, magical juice. I got to rebuild these contraptions so that I can.
Juice.
Yeah. You know.
Well,
All right.
let's see if she can do the airship, and then we'll take a rest for it.
Okay.
Test drive. Woo!
No, I don't know what I need to roll for this.
Uh,
Try.
so tell me how you're going about this. So you have the helm in front of you. I like to imagine that the steering devices for these things isn't necessarily a wheel. It's more of like almost like a two-pronged, almost like a football field goal. So there's a place to put each of your hands and a place for your fingers to actually interlock. And once you do that, we'll see
You're
what
gonna have to
happens.
press your face up against it.
It's did you have to? Okay.
Your shake weight.
Yeah, she'll just like she got plopped down, so she'll just like okay.
Yeah. So as soon as you grip, you instantly feel this connection with an elemental, and you can kind of feel its thoughts, its essence, really kind of pouring through your mind, and almost like this entire chill just runs through your body. This electric pulse, and your marks on your face, right?
Yeah, on her
So-
left cheek.
Yeah. So did we establish that does anything when you use your magic?
Yeah, it's supposed to kind of faintly glow. I haven't really talked too much about it because she always does try to keep her hood, try to keep it more covered. But in a more relaxed situation like this, you can definitely see it goes from like the weird purplish pinkish kind of color that it is to like glows more blue, kind of matching like her eyes are the really bright blue.
So it's a shiny. So Morag
Yeah.
wants to collect that one too.
Not on a living thing for now.
Oh my
For
For
me.
now.
Please
Uh,
don't cut my face off.
As this energy pulses through you, your dragon mark begins to illuminate as well, and actually a light starts to even come from the irises in your eyes, and you can feel this connection that even just through your dragon mark, you are able to bind this creature and essentially control it, and it's like it instantly just has. It's bent to your will. It's not challenging you. The elemental, whatever it is, you're still not sure even what type it is, but it's not fighting you. It's almost tried to become one with you, and you can feel the sense of calm and control as you grip the steering device.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she'll try to.
We unhook from the train.
You are not.
Don't do a loop-de-loop yet.
She'll try to just, communicate or pass the thought along with it. That like, okay, gradually raise up. Very
Okay.
carefully.
And as you do that, your arms kind of almost like you're not in full control of them, but as this thought goes through your brain, they pull back, and you feel ever so slightly, the rest of you as well, the ship raises, and is you, Remy, especially. It's like you can almost see a 360-degree view of the ship. It's like you know every single piece of it and where it is in time and space. And you can tell that it is just about 2.5 feet off of the top of the train at this point. And I should describe. So it is very much like a boat. It does have kind of a rounded bottom to it. It does have a large metallic ring, which almost encircles, goes around the helm, and is connected to 2 points on the side, and has a couple of fins to stabilize it as well. And as you're able to lift it up, the rest of you see a light emanating from the ring, and almost like a small flame has begun to burn on this metallic ring as you have raised slightly into the air.
It actually looks like the drawing Jillian did.
Yes, Jillian was incredibly accurate. Yeah.
All right, let me pop this up
Yay.
here in the front.
Well, I looked at the pictures of the
Like that
airships
drawing.
and the books.
Although probably a little smaller than that one, but
Yeah.
but yeah, like that one. Ah, love it,
Sick.
love it.
Sick.
Coming back down.
So is there some sort of mechanism to deal with the grappling hooks? Like
Very
Like
much
a
like a
big
ship,
crane
they
up
are they're lashed to the sides. So in your standard type of sailboat, you have the prongs that are on the top deck. They're tied off with rope. So yeah, you could release those and de-anchor the ship if you'd like.
Can we keep up with the train? Does the airship go that fast?
That's a good question, and I didn't know we'd be airshipping this quick. So let me see how fast airship goes.
I ship it.
I shipped this air shipping.
So I know that trains go 30 miles an hour because I had to do math for that earlier. And Lyrandar airship. Let's see. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yes, I finally got the airship background ambience. I know we can't hear it as players, but I had that stowed away for just this moment. Waiting to
Nice.
drop it for weeks, so at least chat can hear
Yay.
that, or hopefully hear it if my audio fucking bullshit is gauged right. But yes,
I will say that typical airships can move about 20 miles per hour, but Remy, through your connection with this elemental, with this ship, you can tell that there's been some modifications. This
It's
thing
enough.
has, this thing
It's
has been hacked a little bit, so it can go
Oh, shit.
about 35 miles per hour. So it could surpass the train just slightly if it wanted to.
Well, let's detach the training wheels and give her a real go.
Yeah.
wait. What if we can't get back on?
I don't know how to land exactly. I think I
Well-
could probably figure it out, but
I don't know if you land these kinds of ships. I think they just hover and then you or butt up to a dock of some kind.
I'm willing to bet that you can crash them though.
You can crash them.
don't want
Crash
to
anything.
hurt the elemental.
It's a
Maybe.
very House Lyrandar thing to say.
What should we try to Should we just stay on here and beat the train there?
I don't think we could get there much sooner than the train.
It'd be good to stay near the train, but we would just kind of want to make sure that
We also want to remember that a terrorist organization believes that they own this ship, and B, this ship still looks like a terrorist organization owns it.
Oh,
We probably don't want to
I
drive
really-
it into a city.
Thanks,
You
Morag.
think? I
You're
really
essentially
do
flying
think-
a TIE fighter into a rebel base.
oh. I didn't realize it was that insignia up. Okay, sure.
This thing is covered in
We
painted
should
green claws.
repaint it before we say it's ours.
Or
Yeah.
we
Butterflies.
just go off track completely and drive it straight to the Mourning, which would be the best way to get out of civilization fast.
But do we need civilization before we get to
We
the
don't.
morning?
We were supposed
think
to
so.
make a few stops with some of
yeah,
the
we
stuff
have to drop off
Lord
the
Merrick's
supplies
gave
to
us.
New Sire. that are on the train.
Morag's already turned up her social security card. She's going off the grid.
Right?
Yeah.
She probably didn't have one from.
Wait, I
Unofficial
misremembered we had
company.
to drop off supplies. I thought we were just taking the train out of convenience.
No, we have supplies to drop off. At
There,
this
yeah, there was
that's the next stop.
a pit stop that we were supposed to make.
Okay. But then once there, we can.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
and then after that, he said like, oh, and then you're gonna have to do X, Y, Z to get the rest of the way.
Okay.
You are meant to stop in New Sire and speak with Prince Orgrev, who will have detailed information on to help you. And then you are also due to stop at the Argonne, which is a floating fortress just at the edge of the cloud wall, and will be your certainly if you want to fly in, it is. This is your game. Go for it. I'm ready.
We should probably start at Star Alaska and see if we can retrofit the ship and get the Emerald Claw stuff off of it.
Yeah.
Well, if that's
Yeah.
the case, then we should stay attached to the train so
Yeah.
they know.
Ramy's not gonna detach it right
And,
now.
and maybe get on the train before we get there, so they know we're not
Yeah.
fucking pirates up here. Ahoy! We've done stuff.
Sounds reasonable.
But test drive. Until then, Ramy, it's all you.
So okay. Should we try to take it a little higher, or should we just stay attached, or?
Yeah, do we need to play out the anchor lines a little bit so she has some room to maneuver?
If we detach the ship completely, I can just take my broom out and reattach it later.
Oh.
Yeah, let's detach it. She can keep up with the train.
Okay,
Ride her around a
I'll
little bit.
try.
All right.
I don't know how to
Raise
retract the.
anchor.
I think we have to do that physically, right, Derek? We have to go and actually detach them.
Yeah, these things, much as Jillian or Morag, whoever said it, much as they denoted, these things are meant to kind of dock in the air, to hover, to continue running. This one, like, connected with the train and hooked harpoons in. Harpoons aren't standard issue on Lyrandar airships. So, yeah, if you wanted to detach them, you could either untie them or you could cut them.
Okay, let's untie them.
Yeah, we want to keep these harpoons because that's pretty sweet. What if we need them later?
That's true.
Let's board an enemy's train later. How ironic would that be?
You want to be on the other side of the experience?
Yeah, well, that way you can bring your undead on their train.
Nah, there you go.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
All right.
Yeah,
So
let's
we'll
untouch
cut them loose or untie them and reel them in.
Untie,
Okay.
so we can
Yeah.
retie it. Yeah.
Yeah, you do so. It's pretty standard sailor's knots, and yeah, you have untethered your airship.
Ramy makes sure, waits for everyone to kind of be back in the general vicinity. She's like,
Sure.
Okay.
She checks her mirrors, turns around.
Puts
Yeah.
her seatbelt on.
Yeah.
Hold on to something just
No
in case.
smoking.
she'll try to take it up a little higher and then just like, okay, go forward, start driving.
It lifts until you're well clear of the train, and you power forward. It's not, like I said, much faster than the train, but I mean, it is the difference of, you know, a car passing another car, one going 30, the other one going 35. You'll pass them eventually. And yeah, but before too long, you have surpassed slightly the train, and you're taking it easy. Are you flying above? Are you flying kind of side by side?
She would probably want to have a safety cushion of space like above it, just in case like something happens, a little jerk down or something. She doesn't want to touch anything, so she's gonna be above it a little
Yeah,
bit.
no, yeah, you are absolutely flying this shit.
Yeah. Every
you're
time
going-
she is like, before she does something, just in her head, she's just being very polite to the elemental, like, please help me do this, please, thank you. Like,
Every thought is directly transferred into the elemental's mind, and in reverse is acted out through your body, whether you even knew how to do it or not. It's like the elemental is almost guiding your hands as you move.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're going full Foo Fighters. You are learning to fly.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And she'll just, okay, and just try to start like, figuring out how to like, okay, this is how you make it turn. You kind of make it sway this way, sway that way.
Mhm.
Yeah, just like mess around with it for a bit. Probably not doing anything too ballsy because she's scared, but after a little bit of just like, okay, now I should probably figure out how to like redock it somehow the way they did. Like go back towards the end of the ship and try to.
Yeah, there is a very clear dent which has been left by the weight of this thing, so it is clear which car this thing sat on top of and where it sat on top of. And yeah, actually, with the thought, I need to dock this here. This is how. The elemental, which you can reason is probably a fire elemental, based on the energy that's coming out of the ring, helps you and guides the airship ever so gently until it and settles down on the top of the train car.
That is that's perfect because I was just like I want to have like an elemental theme to all of Remy's spells and like everything's like fire themed. That's why I summoned like the fire methods and stuff. So like perfect. She has a fire elemental friend now.
You do. And as you dock, you hear kind of the elemental's voice in your head, and everything it says sounds a lot like crackling fire, like wood popping on a fireplace.
Yeah.
But you can understand all of it being connected, and it tells you its name, which is indiscernible. It's some sort of like, but that's. But yes, you have a friend, and as you dock, it asks you, would you like me to go back?
Go back? Oh, just rest for now. We'll come back later.
I will rest.
Okay.
She's like sheepishly like let go. I hope I told it to do the right
Your
thing.
hands are like sore from clenching.
Yeah, she's absolutely like white knuckling the thing the entire time. Like
Cyrus gives you a standing ovation, and then he elbows Hans to make him do it too.
some clacking.
Yeah, just clattering. Yeah, and you hit that one good rib that you replaced. You're like, oh, glad I did
Darn.
that.
Yeah, that could have been bad.
All right.
You
Anything else for you guys?
Rami, you must think of a name for your ship. Something fire related. You can take your time.
Name?
It doesn't have to be right away.
Oh, I get to name it. Well, he told me his name, but I don't think it translates very well.
Well, think of a name for the ship. We'll probably paint off of the Emerald Claw insignia once we get to this next city.
Okay.
Unless the authorities confiscate it from us.
Oh.
Since when does Morag recognize authorities?
Well, I've been traveling around. There's a lot of laws in lots of different places.
She knows they exist. She just doesn't listen to them.
We'll go back to Drome where they can eat babies. Nobody judges you for it.
It's a delicacy.
I don't like baby.
Morag's got a very refined palate. She doesn't eat baby. She doesn't eat troll sausage. We established that.
I don't like it.
She likes candy.
I like candy.
That's
She
right.
likes like gushers, little gusher packs.
Yeah.
That's sweet tooth. All right. So yeah, you all have you've flown, successfully docked. If you'd like, you can. We'll go ahead and take a long rest now as you go to pull into Star Alaska in a few hours. Yeah. Anything from anybody else?
Just reassurance from me for Rami. Just see you did great.
And she's like super like stoked and like bouncy about it. Like that was cool.
Other than that, I'm just happy we have a fucking airship. So, yeah. Mr. Cyrus, are we gonna have to pay these people to let us take this when we get there?
I don't know. We'll have
I
to
don't know
figure that out.
I don't know how like large money transactions work. So
Maybe they'll allow us to keep it as a reward for saving this train and all the people on it.
Ooh, that'd be good. Maybe that chick I wrote her name down. There we go. Maybe Lucina will put a good word in for us.
I get the feeling she doesn't have a position of very much power in her organization.
That's true. They treat her like crap. That's not fair. She's super nice and useful.
Yeah, she seems great. It's always nice to have an assistant who's very helpful around.
Yes, it is. Isn't it, Mr. Cyrus? Not some scared ass human, you don't want them around.
Yeah, for instance, you're not talking about anybody specifically, but that's a hypothetical.
Yeah, of course.
You don't want scared humans around who lock themselves in train cars and stuff.
No. Men of action and women of action. That's what you need. Sure. I'm gonna go act. I'm gonna go fix Ahab and get ready
I'm
to
gonna take a nap. I fought in Mortal Kombat with like several knights, and I'm a little tired.
Oh, is that what you were doing up there? I was wondering.
Yeah. My body count was pretty high in that battle.
Nice. Very nice.
Cyrus fought on top of a train, scared off a bone knight on a wyvern. I mean, basically acquired the airship all by himself, and the only one who knows is the Tanaruk, and the Tanaruk is gone.
He'll never tell.
Yeah.
So I'll order Hans to kind of like stand guard outside the rooms we're all in, and I'm gonna take a nappy.
We all need to rest.
Yeah, and Pondus is already asleep when Cyrus gets back to his cabin. Whistler is sitting on the couch and looks up and says, "Welcome back, friend. You should probably sleep. We should be in Star Alaska soon."
Oh, I'm gonna get some sleep, friend. For sure. Yeah, if you need anything, just ask Ahab. He's always on duty. And, yeah. Why don't you, you still look a little banged up. Here. And I'll kind of, mix up an elixir real quick for him and hand it to him. I'm sorry. I thought my magics could help heal you, but apparently that wasn't working out so well. But this elixir right here, if you drink that will heal your internal parts, and and maybe allow you to what is it? Mow down, rest, sleep.
Oh, I rest. I rest much in the way that elves rest. We don't sleep. We are somewhat aware. We don't dream, but we relax our bodies and just kind of shut our minds down for a bit. So I will keep watch on the door just in case more zombies come to eat your brains while you're sleeping.
That's what you want to hear before you go to sleep.
Yeah, yes. Wow. You should tell bedtime stories. Very comforting. Yes, and you did a wonderful job with that earlier. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate it. Really do. Meaningful. And yeah, you go ahead and do that. Take a drink of that. You'll be fine. I'm going to sleep, and Ahab will sit here on my chest and make little choo-choo noises, like a good little airship. And I'll see you when I wake up, friend.
All right. I might try to go talk to Cyrus's new friend. He seems interesting.
Be a real one-sided conversation.
Yeah.
All right.
You could do that.
And Morag and Remy, are you both heading back to your quarters as well?
Yeah.
You should get some sleep, Remy.
I think since the the elemental's name doesn't really translate, maybe I'll call him Nathaniel because that means angel of fire. So maybe we can call him that. But I don't know what to name the ship yet.
Okay. You think about it.
And definitely don't call it the Cinder or anything. It's not the title.
Oh.
Would that make you like really happy, Derek?
No,
or
no,
make
no,
you really
no, no.
sad?
It was an absolute joke. No, name your ship. If you want to name it the Star Blaster, it's been done before. But
I've been taken.
Yeah.
All
If you want to name it the Puppies and Rainbows, it is your ship. I am not here to tell you otherwise.
The Firefly.
There you go.
Oh,
Yes.
that'd be kind of cute though.
Original name.
It's got your fire in it. Yep.
Gosh, now I'm trying to figure out who's who, because Morag is definitely Zoe. Trying to
If you
think-
say I'm not Kaylee, like I'm gonna.
you are Kaylee and Walsh. I mean, you're Walsh. Yeah, you're both. Although Midge is kind of Kaylee too. Anyway,
It's gonna get confusing.
yeah,
So
we're
do we,
gonna.
I need a
get
new
long
name.
rest?
You're gonna check. Yes, you all have a long rest.
Yay, spells.
I take the vial of congealed blood out of my component pouch, swish it, drink it,
No.
go down to the car where all the dead bodies are and wring me out some fresh blood.
That's
Yeah, between all of them, there's certainly some of the bodies haven't hit full rigor, and yeah, you're able to tap some blood.
And then for the rest of my everyone else is sleeping, I just fill my book of shadows with as much information about the dragon marks that I've added to it as can, so that the daughters know this
Yeah,
information.
the dragon marks have the blood kind of on the skin has congealed enough to make sort of a paste, so they are stuck to a page. And yeah, you make notes on, this is from House Civis, this one's from House Orion, this one's from House Lyrandar, this is what you know about them.
Mhm.
And yeah, you're able to transfer that information.
And then I read more of my romance novel for the rest of the trip.
All right.
Flesh
It
bookmarks.
gets real steamy. She goes into the woods, gets lost, gets rescued by this he's very brash with her. But then she goes back to his castle and finds out he's actually the Lord, and he's actually nice. He's nice to his servants. He's nice to all of the people that are under him. She sees him fighting out in the yard, just like practice fighting, and he looks up at her and gives her just kind of a smile. And then later on, like there's furs on the bed and candlelight, and it's just a little too warm. And then he takes off his kilt.
Derek, wrong production. We're not in Monster Crush right now.
My wife reads those books. I'm familiar.
Takes off his kilt. Yes. Okay.
We're thinking of starting a podcast called "The Things I Do for Love," wherein we both read romance books, and
Oh boy.
yeah, she the fan, me
Do
the
it.
normal person. Okay, so you'll get your long rest, and by the time that you wake up, it is we'll say at this point probably about 8 o'clock at night. But Lucina pretty deftly pulls the train into the station at Starlasker. And yeah, you feel as you wake up the train kind of coming to a rest and settling down, and you hear her voice over the intercom going, we made it.
Just to work on
So
her train pilot voice.
Her pilot voice.
Conductor.
it does look like there are a lot of people outside who are armed and do not seem pleased that we're here. Just be careful getting off. Hope you enjoyed your trip. Please choose Orion Lightning Rail again.
Still try and do the plug.
Yeah.
And there's a
Fun.
and it cuts off. And yeah, as you look out, you can see that there are several Breelish guards who are standing outside the train with spears drawn. You see one of them. You can't really tell what he's yelling, but he's pointing up towards the airship and kind of making everybody prepare for the worst.
I guess I better get out there and talk to him.
Rami's
Yeah,
very
maybe
concerned
don't-
because she is now friends with the elemental, so she's like going to go to the ship before getting off
you
the
watch as
train.
it gets annihilated from a catapult or something they launch at it.
Maybe don't lead with your undead minion when we speak to these
Why?
villagers.
I'm a knight of Karnat. People
He's
are used
scary.
to it. I might turn him over to the authorities. It might be good. He was one of the.
He can
Emerald
wait
Flock.
inside before, and then you can explain, and
have
then
complete
turn him
control.
over to the
You guys
authorities.
are being really undeadist right now.
It's
It's not. I thought you were cooler than that.
Being super mortalist right now, guys.
Oh, look at me walking around with my alive blood and skin. I'm so much better than everyone else. That's what you think.
That is what I think.
Yeah, Morag
You
has a
nailed
lot
it.
of blood
A
and
lot
skin.
of extra
I have
skin.
lots of people's
Yeah.
blood and skin.
Super entitled.
Yeah, I'll
All
go
right.
out and I'll take
Yeah.
Hans with me.
The doors open, the ramps automatically descend down and connect with the station. And yeah, you step out, and a crossbow bolt launches and fires. It lands like 1 foot from your head, connects into the sidecar, and you see the guy who was yelling before go, "God damn it, Varen! I said don't!"
Cyrus shoots Baron a dirty look. Like, come on.
And
I thought Breland was better than this.
and the person you assume to be in command with the better looking armor and loud voice says, "Come on out, slowly. Put your hands up."
I've got my hands up. Like, I come out. Cyrus says, "We mean no harm. We were attacked by Emerald Claw. We fought them off. I don't know what else all you need to know."
We want to keep
You
the
see a
air
lot of you see a lot of the soldiers put their spears down, and the one who's commanding everything walks forward and he goes, "I'm sorry, you did what now?"
Well, it's a long story, but the Emerald
I
Claw,
got time.
the Emerald Claw attacked our train, stocked it with Alchemist Fire. We're gonna crash it into Star Alaska, and turn everybody into burning undead zombies. I think. What was that thing called? The Resonator. They had a Resonator, and we destroyed the
Zombie Maker 2000.
Yeah, that was the branding on it.
The 1000 always had problems. I'm glad they, yeah.
We dumped all the Alchemist Fire. We killed all the Emerald Claw. And yeah, I don't think anyone needs medical attention or anything, but I don't know, there's damage to the train. We've got a couple of D Orions on board. But everything's fine.
Most of the civilian bodies are intact should your clerics wish to resurrect them.
Oh, that was
They were from steerage. No,
Every
they're not.
time she talks, I know something.
unintentionally spooky. Is that just me?
Why
Did
would
anyone
they
else
be
feel that
attacked?
little like chill? Like,
As soon as
She
started
stopped
talking-
staring at me. I feel like even when I move, her eyes are following me like those weird paintings.
Yeah, anyways, I'm Cyrus Alderman, Knight of Karnath,
Uh-huh.
and you are?
I'm in charge here. Are you claiming responsibility for anything here? Is this?
We're responsible for the worst not happening. Your station here didn't blow up, and some people on the train are still alive, and a bunch of Emerald Claw are dead. We're responsible for that.
All right. And he go ahead, Remy.
Can we keep the ship?
I'll get to that in a second, young lady. But he turns around and kind of snaps his fingers, and one of the guards pulls out almost like a clipboard with a piece of paper on it. He goes, "Alderman, sign this," and he hands you a pen.
I'm used to this. I sign it. I probably
And-
should scan it really quickly.
You scan it. It's basically just it's a liability form. It's basically saying, it's one of your general heroic liability forms. While dealing with the direct enemy, I'm not responsible for any of the deaths or damages to this
Right.
train. And at the bottom it does have the small crest of House Orion on it.
Your
because-
typical vigilante form.
Yeah, they're used to this bullshit, especially out this way. And he goes, "All right, well, we're all done here. Okay, airship. Well, it belongs to House Lyrindar. Are any of
From
you?
House Lindar.
she'll just like okay, just like pull like brush her hair back.
All right, good enough for me. It looks like absolute garbage, and it definitely
our
looks
ship
like
you're
you're part
talking
of the
about.
Emerald. Great, fix it. It looks like you're going to kill everybody using it,
I'm
and
not. I won't. I wouldn't. I promise.
yeah, I believe that 100%.
Well, you should.
I'm being sincere. This is my sincere voice.
I like the monotone aspect of your voice, sir.
Yeah.
You need to
You
stop
find
looking at me, lady. I swear to God. All of them. All 12.
Mm.
All right. All right, boys. It's standard 10:52. Let's all go home.
Hey, before you run off, is there a place nearby where we could get the airship repaired or refitted?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm guessing, and this
We've
is just a
never been
guess.
here.
You're not House Lyrandar, right?
Well, she has a dragon mark of House Lyrandar. How would she be a House Lyrandar without that?
Okay, fine. If you want to take it over, there's House Lyrandar has a station here where they always do. It's an official place, and if you're really part of it, great. If not, they're probably gonna take it. Otherwise, I don't know.
Maybe some local businesses or something.
I'm sure there's some craftsmen around here who can do that. It's probably some artificers. Yeah. Starlasker's decent size. It's mostly a midway point. And yeah, you would know from Starlasker because this was mentioned before. Starlasker is kind of a central point for a lot of different types of travel.
Right?
Yeah, it's not really a place where people stay. It's a place where people move through to other places. So if you were to travel south, you get to New Sire, and that is not by lightning rail. That is by road. If you were to travel south by lightning rail, you would get to Sturgate, and further south into Zilargo and Dargoon. That's why a lot of gnomes use it. If you were to travel north, you would get into Thrain and even Karnath. And that even travels around into the Talenta Plains and Valinar. So this is like one of the really essential main places that goes around the Mourning and allows the rest of Khorvaire to travel to Breland and beyond.
Good thing it didn't blow up.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, what do you want, a reward? I mean, that's not...
Somebody should. I mean...
you got a ship.
Is this where we were supposed to actually stop?
It was.
Like, okay. Cool. So
we were gonna go on foot down to New Sire, I think. But now we don't have to do that, hopefully.
Well, let's get our stuff off the train and put it on the airship.
Yeah.
And then we'll go find somewhere to take the airship.
What are we gonna do with the New Sire supplies? How big is that, Derek?
It was big enough to fit in the cargo bay. If you wanted to unload that, you'd probably load it into the airship more or less, or find somebody in the station who would be able to help you with that.
Okay. We definitely don't want to forget those.
And the guy looks at you, goes, "All right, listen, we're in a Orion station right now. Can you at least get the ugly thing off of the train so I don't get yelled at by the people who yell at me?"
Look, we've got Ivan D. Orion on this train. You're gonna get yelled at no matter
what. Oh, fuck.
Sana.
Okay, I'll get it off, but then we just need to get our stuff off still, so don't take the train away.
Oh, it's not. I mean,
going anywhere on this thing for a while.
She doesn't. She's a baby. She's
young lady. It's full of dead bodies. Half of it's on fire, and it's not going anywhere for a long while. This train's probably going to commission this.
Oh, and we saw another one going the other way back towards Rote. You might want to radio them. I don't know if that's the right word. To let them know that they have a train full of dead people and reanimated corpses that are now deanimated heading their way.
Yeah, when he hears that, he turns and nods to one of the other soldiers who goes walking off.
Amy will go grab like at least her couple of things like from her room with Morag and go like get back on the little ship much more confident now to like get it off, like detach it and like just move it to like the outside of the station.
Yeah, you do so, and you're now flying this ship. And if you'd like, you can try to find a docking station nearby.
Yeah.
Starlasker isn't the city of towers that Sharn is. It doesn't have the docking stations everywhere, but you can certainly find one that is it's in the middle of nowhere. You can probably find a general docking tower that is used for airships, and there's not a lot of airships here. There's maybe one other one, but it does have several station ports.
Okay. She'll also ask the elemental if it's okay if she calls him Nathaniel,
and
since she can't pronounce its name.
Yeah, in the crackling primordial language, it goes, "Yes, Nathaniel, I like this name."
Yay! Making friends with the elemental.
Yeah, she'll
probably take someone with her so she doesn't like get lost in the city. But yeah, she'll just go take it to the docking station.
So who's going with Remy?
Should we all go? Do we?
Well, someone
need-
should probably make sure we get our stuff off the train also.
Yeah, and have it transferred to the docking station.
Yeah, we'll say that there's House Orion Steward. The train station's full of them. You flag one of them down, notify him that this is the stuff bound for New Sire. Taken to this docking station, it needs to be reloaded there.
Okay.
And yeah, you go to one of the docking stations. There are several which do have House Therandar's mark on it. The one that you dock at is not as nice, but doesn't bear the mark. And there's kind of a scruffy-looking dwarf comes walking out as you dock, and he goes, "Ah, looks like you chose old Bevan's place, huh?"
Is he like accustomed to the Emerald Claw docking here? Like, shouldn't he be kind of surprised?
Yeah, he doesn't seem phased at all.
Oh, I like this guy.
Like Bevan, is that what you said?
Yeah, customer's a customer.
Well,
And-
we're not terrorists, so that's.
Excuse me, sir. Do you know anywhere we could have some alterations and repairs made to our airship here?
Yeah, right here. Yeah,
You could do that for us?
I can do anything that I say I can.
We
Oh,
want
that
a
would be
wizard,
great.
a wizard riding a unicorn painted on the side of it.
That's pretty tame for Morag. Like little horse girl stuff.
We
Oh,
don't
we
want to use,
think
we don't want to use a unicorn because that's House Orion's.
Oh, I
game.
was just making an 80s van.
Oh,
yeah, I was
yeah.
gonna say, are we going
Sick
ultra
man girl.
realistic? I can only do kawaii if that's okay with you.
Oh, dude, give me
yeah.
some chibis.
GB
cover
cupcakes,
it.
I can do that.
Do it.
What's this going to cost?
We mainly
what-
just want the big green cover.
Yeah, the claws off of it.
If you just want a paint job, that's 50 gold.
Oh, we can do that.
If you want all the clunky, spiky bits taken off and a retrofit and fixing anything with your dragon shard or any attachments or anything like that, it's more additional. But yeah, paint job's 50 gold.
Do we need?
She probably looks to Midge out of anyone in this group. Like,
Do we want all the stuff taken off?
We want it to look not like a.
Does it have any
Imaplasha.
purpose?
It really looks like aesthetics to me, but Marg's right. We probably just want all the stuff taken off so we're not associated with those hooligans.
Paint
Yeah,
job.
then please fix it so it doesn't look so it looks more presentable.
All right, presentable is going to be 100 gold.
Okay.
Can we all pitch in 25? Is that something we can do? Does everyone have that?
yeah, sure. Remy was totally willing to do it herself, but like,
Can
yeah.
we pay you 100? What did he say? 100 gold completely? Can we
Yeah.
pay you 125 gold to keep it off the books?
Oh, Bevan doesn't keep books. Bevan keeps gold.
Excellent.
Book.
Books is for nerds.
All right, we'll all shell out.
I love
25
Bevan.
gold
Yep.
All right,
That was
and
great.
yeah, he takes your gold and goes, "All right, when are you looking to leave?"
As soon as possible. We do have more traveling we're supposed to be doing.
All right, well, I got a small team here. Can you give me till dawn?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
completely reasonable.
Fan-fucking-tastic. All right, well, you all go and find somewhere to bed for the night, and I'm gonna get dirty with your ship.
Don't like the sound of that.
Be nice to Nathaniel, please.
I'm sorry, who's Nathaniel?
The elemental, he's very kind. Be nice to him.
Oh, I don't fucks with the elementals. I ain't got none of them weird tattoos.
Okay.
Yeah. I see you got a nice tattoo on your face there.
Yes.
And it will stay on her face.
Yeah,
Don't
was
even
that?
Think about it.
Good God.
Yeah, who
I
would,
love Mourning
would
so
do that?
much.
What kind of
I love-
monster removes those things?
Mhm.
I love her.
All right. This is a good enough place to stop as any. We'll say that you can find some betting for the night. We'll say that more than likely there is a Gold Dragon Inn. And with the cloaks that we're all still wearing, wink, wink, from Merrick's, you were able to get a free night stay because that's just what houses do for each other. And in the morning, you awaken in the Gold Dragon Inn, and we will take things from here. And hey, and we're right on time, not later. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
So,
Perfect.
yeah. So yeah, that's you guys took a solution that I wasn't sure you were going to take. That's awesome. And we might as well go around and hey, we'll start with Kyle.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kyle. I played Midge. Super happy about today. I'm glad we got an airship. We saved people, and we had 1,000 solutions for one problem, and could only pick one. So that's always good. And yeah, and he's super happy that Rami got to learn how to fly, and yeah, just it was just very rich game today, and very grateful for all that. I'll do the closing stuff after everybody does their outs, but yeah, I'm just very happy, and I think I pulled up a map for chat so they can kind of see our. I don't have a way to mark the trek yet. I'll work on that maybe for next week, but marked where we are in the scheme of things. So super excited. We're making our way and also making contacts and having a good time and learning more about ourselves. So I'll pass that off to Kay. Kay, can you tell us who you are, where to find you, and any closing thoughts on today?
Hi, everybody. My name is Kay. I am at ironic_cupcake on Twitch and Twitter. I was playing Ramiel today, and she learned how to fly. I'm so excited. This was probably like this I say this, I feel like a broken record. I say it every time. Like I just always want to say like this is like my favorite thing we've done, but it's just like it keeps being my favorite every time. This is such a fun like world to play in, and Derek, you're making such a fun like story and really like well made characters that like it's just I can see so much real people in everybody. Just like yeah, I've met Ivan before. Absolutely. I have absolutely met an Ivan before. Yeah, this is so much fun, and I am going to spend the next entire week coming up with a name for the airship because I'm ecstatic.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. We still have the official name, so good. We have a week to dwell on that. So good. Yes. Got to name the airship. Awesome. Next up, we have Nate. Nate, tell us about yourself, where to find you, and anything closing thoughts on today's game.
I'm Nate. I played Cyrus Alderman, the human paladin from Karnath, and I'm having a blast so far. Derek, you're such a good DM. It's amazing. I really like it. I've been playing D&D for like 10, 15 years now, and I've never once got this undead ability of a Oathbreaker Paladin to work where he gets to mind control an undead. And so like I'm super stoked about having Hans. I don't know what the logistics of that are going to be going forward. I definitely either need to cast it on him again or let him go. And hopefully I don't forget to do that within a 24-hour period because like Derek said, that might be a rude awakening. As much fun as I had on the train, it'll be nice to be doing some airship stuff and traveling around, and we're getting closer and closer to the Mourning, which is where we're heading. And even if you read the books, the Eberron guide, it's very vague about the Mourning intentionally, so it'll be very much Derek's vision, which I'm looking forward to seeing how he plays that off and what sort of weird stuff we find in there. And yeah, it's been great so far.
Yes, I love. Yeah, again, I love. I agree with you. The fact they leave it open, and for us to hear Derek's version of this is super interesting. I'm trying to, piece together all the possibilities, but there's no way to know exactly what his vision for this campaign's version of the Mourning is. So excellent. Jillian, next up, Tell us who you are, where to find you, and any closing thoughts on today's game.
I'm Jillian, Jillian of Midgard, most places. Jill of Midgard on Twitter. Playing Morag, having a good time, dialing up the creepy as much as I can. Yeah, Derek, this is really great. You're doing amazing. Like I said, Nate and I've been playing for like 10 years, and like you're one of the best teams we've ever had. So that's amazing, and I'm so happy to be here. I do art and junk. Check out my Etsy page. I'm dual wielding physical character sheets and digital character sheets for this campaign because I just can't let go of my paper and pencils completely. But I've got lots of cool PDF downloads on my Etsy if anyone wants to check those out.
And Kyle's cool T-shirt design.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'll pop that when it gets to me. I don't want to take too much of her time, but the artwork is, as you can see by the character portraits, is fucking amazing. And yes, and the character sheets are insane. I wish I got to play more in real life. In fact, my real life group is kind of dissolving, which kind of crushes. Yeah, between the virus and people moving for work and all that shit, it just But yes, check that out. Check out our Etsy shop. It's awesome. Derek, let's finish up with you. Tell us who you are, where to find you, stuff you're doing, and any closing thoughts on today's game.
Yeah, thank you everyone for your very kind words. I love DMing for each of you. I would rather not social distance with anyone else. You're all the best. But hi everyone, I am Derek Sword. I'm DSword16 on Twitter, Discord, and Twitch actually. And you can find me on Twitter where I post about my dogs and travel and TTRPGs and stuff like that. I am also on Uncanny Adventures every other Tuesday for a Call of Cthulhu game. Skipped the past week, so it's not going to be this week, but next. And I am also the co-host of the podcast Monster Crush, which I do with Heavenly and Ellie, where we talk about different monsters that we want to smooch, whether we've been on a date. And, we asked recently in an episode if the Loch Ness Monster is into butt stuff, and we need to listen to find out. But no, I absolutely love doing this campaign with all of you. I love reading about Eberron. It has a very, very rich tapestry of history that people have contributed to. Even the 5e stuff doesn't cover everything. There's a lot more that I've discovered online. And I want to try to incorporate as much of that as possible into our game. I definitely want to try to, for those that are watching, for those that are playing, touch on a lot of the amazing stuff that Eberron has to offer. And there's no way we can cover all of it, but the Mourning does have a lot of it. So once we get there, we're right on track. And actually, to that point, I knew we would get to essentially this, where we are now. I knew you would all, survive the train ride, whatever. I didn't know that you would take the airship. I didn't know if you'd be successful in that. I did consider for a minute loading the airship with Alchemist Fire. For a brief moment, I thought about having the Emerald Claw veteran taking off in the airship with Cyrus aboard, and decided that probably wouldn't be too great for Cyrus. But
might have to use my aberrant mark to try and fly it at that point. That'd be interesting.
That's right. Which I did read up on that. It's a DC 20 charisma saving throw to try to bind elementals. Otherwise, they break free and either take the ship wherever they want it to, or they just attack. So not great in either way. But no, I love seeing players think about solutions, so many solutions, and exert their will on the world. That's what I'm here to do. Is create problems, have multiple solutions, and see how you get solved. You guys are awesome. You're awesome players. You're awesome role players, and you're awesome at problem solving. And I couldn't pick a better group to delve into Eberron. Can't wait for the campaign to continue. We got we're a third of the way through our campaign, and there's a lot more to go. So I can't wait to see where else we go. And I want to say again.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to see where we go too. Boy, yeah. Fuck, airships. Fuck. Sorry, Mitch is excited. So awesome. Thank you, Derek. Thank you so much for putting in the time, the effort, and a personal thank you, because I rarely ever get, and Will said in chat earlier, I rarely ever get to actually play a full campaign other than just one shots. So this is a true treat for me, and just to see your story and kind of watch it unravel, and the way you handle it, the way you handle everything and roll with it, is like Jillian and Nate said, it's very, very much a pleasure to have you as a DM. So thank you so much for all your hard work. Thank everyone in chat. Thanks for giving your for using your channel points. Your, what are they called now? I think they actually have names. For your points in chat. Yeah, I think it's channel points in chat to give everybody vigilance points. We will be getting to that. Today was a more of an RP and less of a skill check and combat centric. We already had that last game, or last week's game. So it's nice to get our thick RP on and actually get the train to its station and begin our next leg of the journey. Speaking of next legs of the journey, we'll be back on Wednesday with Strands of the Sun, the D&D 5e campaign I'm running, homebrew campaign, and we will be back with our community one-shots again on Friday, this coming Friday, and I think I'm going to do another monstrous adventure, because I'd really like to give away some copies of the Monstrous Races book from the DM's Guild. So I think we'll be doing another monstrous adventure on Friday. Signups for that will begin tomorrow. So if you're not part of the Discord, come join our Discord group. I'll announce that tomorrow, and join up, get in on some one-shots. And as I mentioned before the game, we're going to be doing some more systems other than D&D. We're going to be branching out. I know that some high ones on the list are Mouse Guard. We want to do some Mouse Guard. We want to do some Vampire the Masquerade. We want to do some Ruin. What's that one called? Ryutama? I don't know that system. I've heard of it, but that seemed to be voted up pretty well in the Discord. But yeah, we're going to be getting.
Amazing.
Yeah, we're going to be getting to know some of these other systems in one-shots and eventually also in campaigns. So I'm hoping to, kind of like we're doing this right now with 2 campaigns and a weekly one-shot, I'm hoping to make one of those campaigns another system, and a campaign, I'll run a campaign of 5e until I'm more comfortable, until one of these awesome community members can teach me how to do these other systems, and maybe we'll do whatever we want to do. So if you want to be part of that, part of the decision making, come join the Discord, and we'll have fun there. Check out the YouTube channels for both educational D&D content, as well as a Stalwart archive of these episodes, so that you can keep up with our stories and be a part of that. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Kevin, thanks for sticking with it till the end. PH, for all your help and dedication, thank you so much. And let's go raid Scraticus. I see he's on, so let's go raid him. Long-term friend of the channel, of the community. Adam's a great guy and puts a ton of work into inclusion and puts his heart into his channel. So let's go raid him. And yeah, until next time, everyone, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you all later.
Bye.
Later. How do I do this here? And the thing where you push the